U.S. Bank NBC Sports Report.
Good evening. We're live on a Saturday night, first one of autumn, and it feels like fall here in South Bend. 55 degrees and a big game feel in the air. Top 10 matchup, Notre Dame and Stanford. The Irish are 4-0. They've got their first road win, a different quarterback, but a big thing starting to brew here in South Bend. Meantime, Stanford brings in the Heisman runner-up, Bryce Love, off a stirring overtime comeback win at Oregon, and they get another win on a ranked team on the road tonight. Good evening, everyone. Mike Tirico, Heisman Trophy winner, Doug Flutie, Catherine Tappan, and Terry McCauley will join us here in a little bit. Well, Doug, Ian Book takes over as quarterback for Notre Dame last week. He puts up 5 touchdowns, responsible for running and passing. What did he bring to this Notre Dame offense that was a little different in your eyes?
Just a more efficient passing game. You know, the ball's out in rhythm. It's on time. He trusts his eyes. So, therefore, he makes a commitment to each throw, and he's more accurate with the football. It really opened up the playbook. All
right, Stanford's been opening it up. They're doing damage in the air on offense. So the question is, it's been tough running for Bryce Love, the Heisman runner-up. Is he still okay?
He's still a great ball player. There's no doubt about it. Anytime he touches the ball, he could go to distance. The problem is they're loading up the box and trying to stop the run first. Therefore, you open up some opportunities down the field in the pass game.
You're talking about the pass game. When the ball's in the air tonight, we could have a lot of fun. What are you looking forward to the most?
A lot of big, tall receivers and tight ends, especially on the Stanford side, tight ends. Jump ball type situations, they go up and get it. Both quarterbacks will put the ball up and give his receiver a chance.
And we have a couple of defenses that really don't have superstar players, but they bring high quality all the way through all 3 levels of defense. It was a tough call for Brian Kelly to make that quarterback switch. Brandon Wimbush was a winning quarterback, but the locker room and the team has stayed together. And now as they make that walk from the locker room, down the steps, into the tunnel. They have their moment in the tunnel, and Stanford waits in the corner as well with their terrific head coach, David Shaw. They come here every other year, and the games have produced some terrific games. 2 tremendous institutions and football programs. A meeting of like-minded folk here tonight in South Bend. And here come the Irish. Brian Kelly's coached a bunch of top 10 matchups, but it's the first one he's done here in South Bend. It's the first home start for Ian Book from outside of Sacramento, California. His high school about 140 miles away from Palo Alto. So he's a Northern California kid, and here is the team from Palo Alto. The Cardinal of Stanford. They make this biennial visit every fall to South Bend. Good start this year. 4 wins, including a win over San Diego State and USC. And Oregon in a thriller in overtime last week. The Cardinal take the field. What a magnificent 7 years on the farm for David Shaw. This is 100th game as Stanford head coach. He's won 77 of the first 99. As we've said, the games here have been terrific. Stanford, Notre Dame, a top 10 matchup, kicks off in 3 minutes here on NBC.
This has been the U.S. Bank NBC Sports Report. All on NBC, presented by Michelin.
First top 10 matchup of teams in South Bend since the USC Notre Dame game, the Reggie Bush push game in 2005. Biggest star in the game, as we said, the Stanford senior running back Bryce Love. And Catherine Tappan, we had the chance to visit with him last night.
We did, Mike, and he was nostalgic thinking back to his first career collegiate start here at Notre Dame Stadium 2 years ago. He filled in for the injured Christian McCaffrey. He said he didn't even know McCaffrey wasn't going to start until kickoff, and he said he was just so nervous. But Love took that opportunity that day and ran with it, literally scoring the go-ahead touchdown in the 4th quarter in Stanford's 17-10 win. Love decided to forego the NFL draft to return to Stanford. He's set to graduate 2 quarters early in December with a degree in human biology, with plans after football to become a pediatrician. He told us last night he felt it's important to set an example by finishing his degree. And when you think of student-athlete Mike, Bryce Love embodies it.
Defines it. Should be the face of the sport. Really enjoyed our visit with him, and we've enjoyed watching him on the field. He returns to where it all began. receive. Jonathan Dorr to kick it off, and off we go from South Bend. Glad you're with us tonight. And it will be a touchback as Cameron Scarlett takes it 5 yards deep in the end zone. Let's get a look at the starting lineups for Stanford. Brought to you by Jeep. We mentioned Bryce Love doing the damage in the air. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, 7 touchdown receptions, second in the nation so far. Up front, it's been a little changeable. This is the 4th different game with a change in the starting lineup of the offensive line. Jesse Burkett, the senior, the steadiest. His return to the lineup has been so important for K.J. Costello, the Stanford quarterback. The junior gets it rolling from the 25, and it's Love, and it is a loss of a yard. Like many other teams, Notre Dame lining up to get him. Julian Okwara starts this ball game for the Irish.
Already Notre Dame loading up the box, trying to stop the run first. That's where it all starts. The big plays will have to come in the pass game. Notre Dame's defense wants to stop the run first.
Costello getting the information. He took over in November last year, makes his 12th start, 8-3 overall. Junior grew up in Orange County, idolizing Carson Palmer, thus the number 3. He's got a strong arm, and you're going to see he handles a lot of the game at the line of scrimmage. He's learning how to be a quarterback for the next level while doing well at this level. Love for a yard. That's about it. Osmar Bilal and Tavon Coney make the tackle. 3rd and long coming up on this opening drive.
Tavon Coney on the left side breaks through, and Jonathan Bonner up front occupying 2 offensive linemen, allows Tavon Coney to run free, come in and make it stop.
Love comes out. Trevor Spates is the running back next to Costello. His big play receiver, Arcega-Whiteside, bottom of the screen. Third and 10. Irish bring 4. Costello, the throw is incomplete. It was Drew Tranquil there for Notre Dame to break up the pass intended for the tight end, Caden Smith. 3 and out to start.
Well, there's pressure first coming off the right side. It's Julian Okwara, and a great job down the field by Drew Tranquil making a play on the ball. The tight ends of this Stanford offense are key to their offense.
It's a nice throw. These are 2 teams with very good special teams. Cardinal have 2 outstanding kickers. Jake Bailey, the punter, kicks it to Chris Fink. Great hang time to the sideline, 47 yards. Fink just stays in bounds and returns at 3. And the Irish take over just outside their 30-yard line for Ian Book. Man, did his life change a week ago today. Named the starting quarterback at Notre Dame just 2 years ago. He was the 5th stringer, and now he's the number 1 guy. This is 3rd career start. You might remember last year Brandon Wimbush was injured and Book got the start at North Carolina. He came in relief to win the Citrus Bowl over LSU. Played 11 snaps in the first 3 games this year, and now his 2nd start. Book's throw on time, on target. Miles Boykin, gain of 11, first down. Shown the sideline by Elijah Holder.
Just a rhythm throw with off coverage. Step and throw. He makes the easy throws look easy. The easy completions, it's become much more efficient offensively.
And if you want to know why he became the starter, that plays the example. Tony Jones, the run to the left, and Jones will be stopped after a gain of a yard. Jordan Fox with the tackle for Stanford.
Chip Long has said now that he can set other plays up. You know, you can run the easy stuff, complete it, and then do something off of it. Opens up our playbook if we're efficient in the pass game.
2nd year for Chip Long as the offensive coordinator. Jones with a hole. Nice cutback. Yard short of the first down. Sean Barton and Elijah Holder the tackle for the Cardinal.
The whole defense flows. Watch your right guard here. Reaching out, Kramer gets his block, but creates a cutback lane as the linebackers are flowing north-south cut.
That's what the Irish do on 3rd and a long yard. It is Jones running straight ahead and not going anywhere. Bobby Okereke began the lead of that Stanford defense. We'll see where the mark is. He had to get to the Cardinal 46. Going to be just short, and we'll see what the Irish will do on 4th and less than a yard.
Okereke, as well as the other linebackers, they seem a little undersized. You know, they're good running east and west and the length of the field. quickness at their linebacker position.
Well, first, we're going to get a stoppage here for a measurement. It gives us a chance to tell you that the officiating crew on the field is from the Pac-12, and the replay crew is from the ACC. So that's the mix here tonight for this intersectional battle. And it is a foot short. There's no blinking, no panic over there. Decision made here, and Brian Kelly's team going to go for it early on 4th down. Bring in a bunch of tight ends. Notre Dame has 3 tight ends on the field, including Brock Wright, number 89, is really a fullback in this Irish offense. 4th and a foot.
It's a gap open for just an easy quarterback sneak if they want it.
Takes it, they'll run it, and Okereke got there on Jones. Question is, on the second effort, did he get across the line? Stanford celebrates like they stopped him, but we need to see the mark. That mark is way back at that original line. No need to measure. The Cardinal will come up with it. So Notre Dame runs power football, and Stanford says no. The Cardinal take over a good field position. Bobby Okereke with the big hit on this opening drive. Notre Dame football is brought to you by Visa. Everywhere you want to be. By State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 1-800-STATE-FARM. By U.S. Bank, the power of possible. And by Jeep. So the stadium's open for tours. Fans come in. They take their pictures. They get to touch the actual sign. That's not a freeze. That's an actual kiss there. Our cameras are checking on you guys all the time. Funny stuff. It's a bucket list for many, and the chance to walk down that same tunnel where the Irish enter the field every week. Big stop by Stanford, so the Cardinals get the ball on their second drive of their own 47. Costello will get it rolling. It is Love with some space to run. Bryce Love brought down as he crosses to the Irish side of the field, the 47-yard line. Julian Love, Tavon Coney on the tackle.
Actually have a fullback in the game. Williams made a nice block when that opened it up, but it's still an 8-man front. It's still loaded up box. But Stanford needs to establish some kind of run so they stay with it and eventually positive game.
That's what people have been doing to Bryce Love. He knows it. They're coming to stop him first and then make Stanford do it through the air the rest of the way. Like there. A lot of blue shirts for Notre Dame, including Kirk Heinisch, Alohi Gilman in on the tackle to set up 3rd down. So Doug, he was an 8-yard carry guy last year. Even through the pain and the injuries, some ankle problems, 2,100+ yards. And the per game number was very high. Now it's half that for Bryce Love this year through 4 games. He's missed 1 with injury. The Irish have an injury to deal with right now is Khalid Kareem, their defensive end, who's had a fantastic season, is being looked at by the athletic training staff.
Well, getting back to Bryce Love, I mean, he knows what's going on, and he's still running. He's still explosive, but it's created more big plays because of the one-on-one matchups on the outside.
And Stanford has figured out a way to take advantage of that. Concern for the Irish defensive end will step out. App to watch thousands of live sporting events streamed for free with your NBCSN subscription. And the hockey season starts this week. Got all the details there for you at NBCSports.com/live. Brian Kelly's defensive end, Rod Kareem, was helped off the field. Adi Okindiji will come in his place for the moment. See Kareem on the sideline, the helmet back on. That's a good sign for the Irish.
One-on-one matchups up on the outside.
3rd and 2. Cardinals still looking for their first down of the game. And Costello doing a whole lot of communicating in the noise. He's going to look to throw short, and it's broken up. Pass intended for Trenton Irwin, but Troy Pride Jr. comes in to knock it away, and that's a second pass on 3rd down that was knocked up by an Irish defender.
You know, he sits on the route and breaks hard. There was enough time to get the ball there. I think the ball was a fraction late, gave Pride a chance to break on the ball and knock it away. They were playing off on both sides. I mean, both corners were good 8 yards off. The short timing throw should have been almost automatic.
So Notre Dame goes for it on 4th down, gives Stanford the ball in good field position. It does not cost the Irish, as it's punted by Bailey, and Fink, surrounded by white shirts, will make the catch at the 15-yard line. So we've told you about Ian Book getting his starting career going at home. Here is Ian's book, taking through his life and times. He was committed to Wazoo to Mike Leach up at the Palouse, but then that commitment flipped to Notre Dame in August of 2015. He wrapped up his high school days in El Dorado Hills and Oak Ridge with a 3,000-yard passing season. Played a little bit last year, and then was the star. He came in and saved the game against LSU. And last week, his second start, 5 total touchdowns. Notre Dame scored 56, most they've scored on the road since a trip to the farm a decade and a half ago. And here to Tony Jones Jr. in the gain of 2 yards. So this Notre Dame quarterback situation is one that Brian Kelly has to handle with care, because you had a Brandon Wimbush, the starter at the beginning of the year, a winning quarterback who was doing a lot of things.
It's so hard to pull a guy that's been winning. You're undefeated so far this season, but they knew coming through this stretch of the season they had to be more efficient in the pass game.
2nd and 8 for Book, nothing open. He does have wheels, does take off, and gets the first down across the 25-yard line. And that's the part of his game that most didn't know about, but is very solid.
Absolutely. Do not sell him short athletically. Very quick, good change of direction, good runner with a football. Now, Wimbush could take it 75, but he'll have a lot of 15 to 20-yard runs.
Jones picking through space, running behind the left side of that Notre Dame offensive line. It's just short of the 30-yard line. 3rd time we've called Bobby Okereke, the senior from Foothill High School in Santa Ana, California.
Very active.
Missing Casey Toohill, their outside linebacker, makes a lot of plays for them. Here's Jones again for a first down. He was a step away from going a long way. Jordan Fox got an arm on him to stop him.
Boy, Cole Kmet came down and did a double team on the left side, just washed everything down, half a step away from breaking into the secondary.
Cole Kmet, 84, playing a couple of weeks after a nasty-looking high ankle sprain. Book with time, throws, caught by Boykin at the 45-yard line. It was over the linebacker in front of the defensive back, and a gain of 18.
Boy, Okereke does a great job of running underneath this route from the linebacker level, but it's perfectly thrown. Beautiful throw by Ian Book.
Stanford 44, first down throw with the pressure coming. He didn't see it. He got away from Jordan Fox. Book just running to the sideline. It'll be a loss of a yard as he's escorted there by Joey Alfieri, who had the big play, that fumble return against Oregon that turned the game around for the Cardinal last week.
Jordan Fox comes free off the left edge. And this is what we're talking about athletically. Nice quick step to get away. And Book's eyes are downfield looking for the big play. Gets run out of bounds for virtually no gain, but he wanted to make, once he got outside the pocket, he kept his eyes down the field looking for a big play.
Dexter Williams in the game for the first time this year for Notre Dame. Takes the handoff and takes off. Williams on the run, all the way for a touchdown.
'71 Alex Bars with a great block. Hainsey with a pull and a kick. Cole Kmet, number 84, stays on his block. Dexter Williams touches touches the ball for the first time this season and takes it all away.
Dexter Williams missed the first 4 games, the first third of the season. It was not confirmed, but widely reported that he was suspended for that first third of the season. He did all the things he needed to be back in the good graces of Brian Kelly in the program. Returns and makes an immediate impact. The first time he touched the ball, Justin Yoon adds the extra point. It had to be a frustrating offseason and start of the season for Dexter Williams. He took all that frustration out of the Cardinal defense. 7-0, Notre Dame. Doug, I know you were watching. I know you loved it because the drama is real. Manifest Monday's #1 drama. Discover why the critics call it one of the biggest shows of the fall. An instant hit. Manifest new Monday on NBC. Doug has been asking all seasons. We've been building up to the debut last week. How do they go away and not age for 5 years? Just starting to get some of the clues. So.
I'm never getting on that plane again. You come back, your daughter's married, you got a couple of grandkids, you got an extra dog in the house.
But you didn't age. That's the most important part.
But you didn't age. I don't get it.
That's why you had to be there last Monday, and we'll be this Monday, too. That's a touchback. Jonathan Dorr has given 2 of those so far. Cameron Scarlett, the kick to a knee. Let's beat the Notre Dame defense. Starting lives over here, brought to you by Jeep. We saw Kareem get hurt. We'll see if he comes back in. Jerry Tillery's been the best Notre Dame defender in terms of the grading, along with Tavon Coney. They're 1 and 2 with the grade so far, the first third of the season. In the secondary, Troy Pride Jr. and Julian Love are going to be challenged and tested. They are most weeks with teams so proficient in the pass game, but very tall receivers and tight ends are going to give 2 5'11" corners all they can handle tonight. Third drive for the Cardinals. They're looking for their first down of the night. Costello's pass is juggled and dropped. So it's been a slow start here. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver, may have been tipped on the way there.
Well, you talk about the corners getting challenged. This time it's not going to be with speed, but with size. Yeah, this is a ball Arcega-Whiteside usually catches and comes up with, but this is going to be a game of body position and catching the ball in a crowd. It's not going to be a speed game for the receivers and corners.
Rough start for the Cardinals. 7 plays, 8 yards. See all those gold helmets in the box. 8 crowd the line, trying to stop this guy. Bryce Love still picks through space and gains 4. Adi Okindiji made the tackle for the Irish. Another third down coming up.
Nice job of being patient through the hole there, picking his way through. Again, every time Stanford's running the ball, it's against the loaded box, which means there's an extra defender down there.
There is Khalid Kareem, 53, just came back on the field after they looked at him in the tent on the sideline. Costello clapping, needs it. 3rd and 6. Pressure coming. Hit by Hayes, but he hangs in there. It's complete to J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. First down of the game for the Cardinals.
Well, you're afraid of one-on-one matchups on the outside, so you have 2 high safeties, which creates little windows underneath. Whiteside on the slant. Nice release. Great release. He stuck Pride to the outside, got up underneath him. That's an easy completion.
What a body, what a frame, 6'3", 225. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside from South Carolina, averaging 24 a catch, 7 of his 17 coming into tonight, touchdowns. First down throw, Costello steps into it and finds Trenton Irwin. Not much there as Asmar Bilal and Troy Pride Jr. make the tackle.
So as we said earlier, Stanford would love to be a team that hammers the football at you and run it down your throat. Well, you're loading up the box again. So now they come out, throwing the ball a little, see if they can loosen up the defense, force them to play a little more pass coverage.
That's where David Shaw has seen the development of his quarterback. And they develop quarterbacks without guys looking at the sideline for every sign and other hand signal. They control it at the line of scrimmage. Love using that speed, foot in the ground, cuts upfield, right at midfield. Drew Tranquil stops him after Love picks up a first down.
This is a better way to get him the ball. Get it to him in space. You don't have to block 8 guys. You only have to block 2 or 3 on the perimeter and let him do his thing. Nice wrap up and tackle by Drew Tranquil, because he steps through a lot of these. He's got great lower body strength.
So for Stanford fans, that's an answer to loading up the box to stop the run. Get Love the ball on the perimeter.
Get him on the perimeter. Get him in a little bit of space. He's got one-on-one matchups and pass coverage.
Right in the middle of the house that Rockney built. From 50-yard line. Pass complete to Irwin again. That's another first down. Tavon Coney with the tackle, but Stanford gaining some rhythm on this third drive of the first quarter.
Again, it's a first down play, and they're in there trying to stop the run. You got one-on-one matchups on the outside, playing off coverage. Quick little throw. That's the same exact throw that was a little late on the third down. That ended up incomplete. He was in rhythm on time, and those are some easy completions on first and second down when defenses are loading the box to stop the run.
So scores in progress go by. Very busy night. Liam McHugh-Christians are with us, keeping an eye on everything. To Notre Dame opponents, Michigan and Northwestern. Get a good one over in Evanston. Notre Dame shows pressure. It was blocked, and Love's got space. Bryce Love up the middle, taking off, and Love is gone. Touchdown, Stanford. Notre Dame brought the pressure. Love patiently found the space and takes it the distance.
Alohi Gilman from depth at the safety position is coming. Right now, it's a good numbers for Stanford, but here comes the extra guy. Great pickup on the block by Herbert. And he's off and running. And I tell you, Bryce Love, every time he touches the ball, the defensive coordinator is going to hold his breath.
Wade Herbig with a terrific block, and Pro Football Focus grading. He's the top-rated Stanford offensive player, and you see why. What a pickup he had there. Jet Toner. And to the extra point, Bryce Love to the end zone. We saw it a lot last year. Just the 3rd time this season, the 27th time in his fabulous career. Stanford responds, and we're tied at 7. Tomorrow night, game on in Pittsburgh, AFC North rivals. Flacco and the Ravens, Big Ben and the Steelers, Super Bowl champion quarterbacks. We'll start it with Football Night in America, 7 Eastern time. Sunday Night Football kicks off 8:20 here on NBC. And the Ravens coach, John Harbaugh, congrats to his daughter, Allison, who committed to the Notre Dame women's lacrosse team. Ravens sending out that tweet this year, that women's lacrosse team continuing to build and get strong. Great lax tradition here in South Bend. Kevin Corrigan's men's team has been to the NCAA's 13 straight years. Big sport here on campus. A returnable kick, Michael Young from the 5. Stanford down there to cover it, and Young won't get out to the 20-yard line. So it'll be a long field. We have a penalty marker thrown just right past the spot where the Cardinal kicked it off. Rare to see a kickoff return this year with Stanford kicking. 21 kickoffs, 17 have been touchbacks.
Offside. Kicking team number 15. 5-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
Let's go back to the touchdown, Doug.
Well, Stanford does what Stanford does. They like to get big on you. They put an extra offensive lineman on the field. Devery Hamilton, 74 on the right side. But it was actually Nate Herberg's block. He picks up the safety blitz, and he feels his man go away, and he looks up the field, picks up the extra defender, springs Bryce Love.
The power running team getting it done there. So back to work come the Irish, and the carry for Dexter Williams. That's 2 yards to the 25-yard line.
He just ruined his average.
Yes, he did. He had the 45-yard touchdown on his opening play of the season. As we said, it's the first 4 games. There is no Jafar Armstrong for the Irish tonight. The sophomore, who has 5 rushing touchdowns to lead the team, out with a knee injury, out for a couple of weeks. Here is Williams again. Across the 40 to the 43. Frank Bunkham was waiting to stop him. But Williams, he's been in the garage ready to roll, and he is hitting the road hard.
This was all Dexter Williams, because Nate Wisher, 82, is going to be pulling. He misses his block. Williams still steps through and says, see you later. Gets upfield. Great quickness explosion.
The 44-yard line, just a 3-man rush, so 8 in coverage. Book's got nobody open, and he'll take off. And he'll get very close to a first down at the 48-yard line. A pickup of 8.
I like his calm and his poise. Little pump fake, wants to go up the seam. It's not there. He felt there was no rush, took his time, surveyed the field. Then he's athletic enough to make something out of it.
Joey Alfieri peeking in off the edge there. He's waiting for Williams, but Dexter gets the first down to the 41-yard line. He was limited by injury last year. Did carry for 360 total yards. Of course, with Josh Adams, there wasn't a lot of carries to go around for other players. But Williams is a guy who does have that explosiveness, and we've seen it on his first few here tonight. Book slant. Boykin with the grab to the 34-yard line. A first down pickup of a half dozen.
How about that catch? Boykin just snatched that with his hands. A little low, throwing out front. He was kind of afraid of getting smacked coming over the middle, so he just put the brakes on and reaches down with the hands. Just great job. Hand catches. Reaching for the ball, trusting your hands.
10 different Notre Dame receivers caught balls last week. Part of the impact of the quarterback change. Book has time, shot play down the field. Chase Claypool goes up. And did he catch it? Oh, he almost caught the ricochet as Paulson Adebo and Claypool were going at it.
This is what we're talking about tonight. There are going to be a lot of these opportunities. Claypool, big, tall receiver, going up strong. Adebo's a great defensive back. Made like 3 or 4 great plays at the end of the game against Oregon last week. And Claypool pulls it away, stays with it on the ground, almost comes up with it.
Wow. Ian Book thought for a minute he had his 4th touchdown pass of the season. 3rd and 3. Field goal from here is 49-50 yards. He'll try to get the first down with Jones. He'll be denied. So at the 33, it'll be a 50-yard attempt with Yoon. But you see Brian Kelly say, go, 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 go. The Irish are going to go for it here on 4th down. 4th at about 2 yards. There are gray areas when coaches map out their plan of go for it, kick a field goal, field position where you are, but there are areas coaches have to make the decision. You saw the decisiveness with Brian there.
Alert play action here on 4th and 2.
4 tight ends. Good call, Doug. There it is. And there's Cole Kmet making the grab at the 13-yard line in front of Malik Antoine. First down, Notre Dame.
Kmet just pulled that ball away. The defense was full, but the safety position, Antoine stays there and has a chance to make a play on the ball. Kmet just goes up strong and pulls it away. Big, tall receivers being strong with their hands.
Gain of 19. Williams is the back. Book keeps it. The bubble screen was covered, so he runs it for no gain. Stanford was ready for that. Gabe Reed tracking down the Irish quarterback. Reed from American Fork, Utah on the stop. Good opening quarter. Welcome to those of you who watch Michigan rally and beat Northwestern in Evanston. That's a trip the Irish will be making coming up in November. Trying to get to 5-0 before the trip to Blacksburg and Virginia Tech next Saturday. Back-to-back scoring drives, all even at 7. In the hands of Avery Davis on the edge. Davis, the speedy back, converted quarterback, takes it to the 6.
Getting out on the perimeter. He's got his receivers out there working for him. Avery Davis out of the backfield does a great job. But watch 83 Claypool stay with his block. Watch this. Stay after him, stay after him, stay after him. Put him on the ground.
Claypool you see on special teams as well. He makes big impact plays. Notre Dame changed personnel, so they allow Stanford to do the same. 3 tight ends on 3rd and 2, and Book back up top. End zone. Wisher hangs on. Touchdown Notre Dame. Nick Wisher.
He comes across in motion, and 15 Pritz gets fooled and heads to the flat. They double the guy in the flat, and there's Wisher all by himself. Nice snatch. Reached up and grabbed it with both hands. The ball almost sailed over, so look at his fingertips.
That's one thing we see. We come to practice often doing so many of the home games, and Nick Wisher has a terrific set of hands, and the speed and velocity, the revolutions on that ball from Book, and Wisher hauled it in. Justin Yoon for the extra point. Number 2 on the Irish all-time scoring list. Has added 2 so far. Last 3 drives, touchdowns. Wisher with his second touchdown catch. And the Irish back on top, back in 30. Got to start for Ian Book, 6 of 7, 70 yards and a touchdown. He also has 4 rushes for 16 yards. And Nick Wisher, the graduate student from Midlothian, Illinois, grabs a touchdown for the 2nd week in a row. 2 last year. And Doug, we were both kind of sensing maybe a defensive struggle a little bit. Now it feels like everybody's taking the jacket off, loosen the tie, dig in here.
Turn it loose. Play loose and relax and go get him. I'm waiting to see some of these Stanford receivers and tight ends go up for those same type of plays that Claypool was trying to go after.
Jonathan Dorr, this is going to be caught at the goal line, and Cameron Scarlett will bring it out. And Chase Claypool, the starting receiver. We mentioned his special teams prowess earlier with the tackle. And KJ Costello will get it going at the 16-yard line.
I don't think I've given Costello enough credit yet for some of the things he does at the line of scrimmage. I mean, they run a true NFL-style offense where you've got to run check the run check. And with the extra tight ends or extra linemen, you get multiple looks in the front. So you really got to be on top of protections and the run game, and he does a great job. Looks like Peyton Manning up there directing traffic.
Well, it goes without saying, some of these Stanford kids are so smart, terrific academic institution. He's a political science major, and he's got a wristband full of plays. You better be smart to pick them out and get the right ones and get everybody in line. Love with the carry. Bryce Love's going to gain 4 to the 20 as this first quarter comes to an end. Good start to this one. After 1, Notre Dame 14, Stanford 7. Back to Notre Dame Stadium after these messages from your local station. Glad you're with us this Saturday night. You're watching Notre Dame football on NBC, presented by Michelin. Coverage is being brought to you by the unexpected energy of ExxonMobil. Mike Tirico, Doug Flutie, Catherine Tappan, Terry McCauley, our rules analyst in the booth. Rob Hyland, Pierre Musa, our great team. They're leading the way downstairs in the truck. Quarter 2 begins. We've had touchdowns on the last 3 possessions. 14-7. Notre Dame in this matchup of top 10 teams to end September. Quarter starts with 2nd and 5. Tillery got in the face of Costello, but he hangs in there and completes it to Arcega-Whiteside. First down at the 28-yard line.
99 Tillery, a little slap, maybe a little bit of a head slap there, but he gets in a hurry on the quarterback, gets a hit on the quarterback. He has been phenomenal all year long, especially in the run game.
Jerry Tillery, 3 sacks so far this season. You mentioned a consistent force inside against the run. But Costello's heating up. He started 0 for 3. The junior's hit his last 5 passes. 28, a lot of bodies left, and everybody heading that way to lead the path for Love. Turns the corner, and Bryce Love's to the 35-yard line. It's where they'll mark him. 3 shy of the first down.
Tell you what, he's got a burst because Tavon Coney, number 4, comes running through cleanly. He stutter steps a little bit and just outruns him to the corner and turns the corner.
He's got really good cornering speed, too. Like when
he holds the rail there.
Yeah.
Coming around that edge instead of falling out of bounds, tripping over himself like I would. Yeah, I tell you what, he is just so explosive.
He's got it all. That's movement.
Little bit early on the right tackle.
Yep. On the right tackle, 18 Hall.
Offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
It's almost like he thought he lined up a little too close to the line and had to back up 6.
Just to get ready, it's a Stanford team that averages 6 penalties a game. Notre Dame only averages 4. 2 disciplined teams, well-coached teams as well. Can't spend enough time around David Shaw. What a terrific influence he is on these players. Brian Kelly has great respect for how Stanford's program is built. David Shaw the same. Both administrations, institutions, football teams love going against each other. Costello shot play down the field. Arcega, no, check that. It's Osiris St. Brown with the catch. Inside the 35. He's going to go all the way down to the 25-yard line for a 45-yard pickup. Osiris St. Brown on the grab.
Just a switch release and blows by on his release, and he's gone. Expecting a switch and put the feet in the ground first. Just a fraction of a second was Jalen Elliott. He was expecting another receiver to come underneath and hesitated, and now all of a sudden he was 5 yards behind.
And Notre Dame fans know the St. Brown family so well. Equanimous St. Brown was here for 3 years, now with the Green Bay Packers. And now Osiris St. Brown, Equanimous' brother with the grab there. Slant caught by Irwin, hit hard for the first down for Trenton Irwin, working underneath Asmar Bilal.
Costello's running the show. He's in total control. Those under routes, he felt off the play action. The linebacker level steps up, boom, little easy completion. The ball, the corner route, he sees what's happening right away. Good decisions. He's still dying. This is the area of the field now where if you get a single high safety and there's an extra guy in the box, it's one-on-one on the outside. These are the jump ball areas for the outside receivers.
Stanford's going to take a timeout here. They're going to lead the play clock a little bit and slow everything down and get a timeout here. Get the right play off that card in the red zone. Second and short, and we're back in 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
David Shaw played at Stanford, was the offensive coordinator when Jim Harbaugh was there, then took over and has been a part of Stanford football for 21 years of his life. He's found a good quarterback here in KJ Costello, who became the starter during November of last year. And one thing he does, he plays a bunch of games against good teams. This is the 8th start he's had against a team that's ranked. So the depth of the Pac-12, the quality of the Stanford schedule, a lot of big-time games, and he's played well. Second and 1 here, looking end zone, putting it up top with a lot of contact and a flag thrown. Arcega, Whiteside, and Pride were tied up, and this is going to be on Notre Dame and on Troy Pride. And the back end of it looked like Arcega Whiteside was bringing down Pride.
Pass interference, defense, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
It'll be half the distance. You need to see the play first here to see the beginning of the contact.
Well, the way Notre Dame wants to play this is to stay underneath the receiver and create a little contact, but he's just got a full grip on and fighting through him, shove him to the ground, and it's a easy call for the official. But Notre Dame wants to stay underneath because the Stanford receivers in past weeks have always just kind of made a little contact, turned around and boxed out. The ball is underthrown high, and he just goes up and makes a play. So Notre Dame would like to stay under that route, make the throw go up and over.
And the flag was thrown in the end zone for the infraction occurring in the end zone, not earlier in the route. So the ball will be put at the 2-yard line, and it's first and goal Stanford. And they bring a whole mess of big people like they usually do. With Reagan Williams, the fullback, leading the way. The pitch to Love, and the Irish were waiting for that one. Tillery, Kareem, bunch of folk over there.
Well, a lot of big offense. But hey, when was the last time number 54 went in motion? When did you have a 54 go in motion, Coach?
Stanford.
Dalen Hayes stays home, keeps contained. Actually, the last time Stanford was here in Bryce Love's first start, this exact play was his first touchdown.
Costello on the boot, throws it to Love, turns upfield. What a play by Drew Tranquil. The Irish leading tackler forces third and goal.
Roy Tranquil comes up, makes a nice tackle coming off of this to the right. He's flying up to make the play, but I'll tell you what, 84 Parkinson had a step to the corner and had a chance for a touchdown. Great reaction up, sure tackle on Love. He commits, man. When he comes downhill, he's all out.
Play clock running down.
Whiteside down the bottom, one-on-one.
Stanford has to take another timeout.
Stanford, their second of the half.
Little play action. Parkinson was running to the corner, but there might have been a guy in the throwing lane, so it might have been a tricky throw to drop up over the top. You give it to Bryce Love, and Drew Tranquill comes flying up to make that hit.
It's a fascinating part of the field, Doug, in the red zone because of the size of Stanford's receivers. They use their tight ends 6'5", 6'7". That's not even mentioning 6'3" and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. So their options down here are not just play action or those boots or Bryce Love running. When they get the matchup they want on the outside, they use that size advantage so often, especially with number 19.
And 84 Parkinson is the 6'7" guy. There's Whiteside. And if the defense decides to take that away, you get the one-on-one matchup at the tight end in the middle of the field. Right now, you got both corners are one-on-one on the outside.
Arcega-Whiteside at the very top of your screen. 3rd and goal. Costello looking that way, going that way. Arcega-Whiteside pulls it down from Julian Love, and it's a touchdown for Stanford. That is what he does. 8th touchdown of the season.
So Notre Dame wants to stay underneath it. Whiteside doesn't let him. He keeps a relationship where he kept him on his inside hip anyway. And then the ball's put just a little to the outside. All it is a box out, like basketball. Put it to my outside hip. Here you go. Here's my relationship. Leaning on each other, ball to the outside. Great ball position on the throw by Costello. He trusts his receiver, and Arcega-Whiteside goes up, makes a play.
They run those fades different. They don't run them to the back corner, to the back pylon. It's just a box out. It's basketball. There's a lot of hand fighting both ways. Jet Toner adds the extra point. 4 drives, 4 touchdowns. On a roll here, and so is J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. Gonna have a lot more of these this year. Touchdown catch number 8 of the year. All tied at 14. Notre Dame football is brought to you by Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Untuckit.com. By Michelin, a better way forward. By Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. And by Pringles. The great coaches in this rivalry, including Newt Rockne and Pop Warner, who were the coaches when these teams met in the Rose Bowl nearly a century ago. The Newt Rockne statue outside sees many a picture taken when folks come to South Bend. And he came tonight, he came to a good game. Great setting. As we said, temperature in the 50s, that first full week of fall. And a terrific start to this one, all even at 14. We're going to talk about all that hand fighting in the end zone because fans get frustrated when they watch it. We're going to bring an expert in to discuss that after this kickoff by Jake Bailey. And it's going to be a touchback. Terry McCauley, our rules analyst at NBC. Terry, why don't you see more flags for pass interference on these jump balls with Arcega-Whiteside?
Yeah, Mike, this is a great no call by the officials. They body up each other. They're both seeking out contact. There's no overt grab or restriction by the receiver. There's no extension and separation by the receiver. This is just the best man wins kind of thing here.
So one guy doing it, the other guy not doing it would probably be a pass interference call, but since they're both doing it, it's okay.
Absolutely.
Interesting. That's what they work on, and Stanford's so good at it. Dexter Williams, the first down carry for 7 yards. Doug Flutie, do you like the way that's called?
I just think there's so much contact. Right away, Julian Love is grabbing across. And so to counter that, Arcega-Whiteside has 2 arms on his arm to push off and grab. And yeah, nobody's getting an advantage, so there's no call on the play. But boy, there's a lot of contact.
2-yard run here for Dexter Williams. It'll bring up 3rd and 1. Jovan Swan, who's from Greenwood, Indiana, about 150 miles from here, south of Indianapolis. Gets a chance to come back to his home state and make a tackle there against the Irish. Notre Dame has scored touchdowns on its last 2 drives, and Williams won't get it. Book will. First down to the 35-yard line. Gabe Reed with the tackle after the 5th carry for Ian Book tonight.
Reed does a great job of staying home, staying flat to take the angle, but Book's quick enough to at least pick up the first down. But that's a disciplined play where you stay, instead of going vertical to the quarterback where he can outrun you, you stay flat and run with him down the line.
First down pass, Reed chasing, Book spins away. gets away and gets about 3 yards before he gets out of bounds. You mentioned the athleticism, a lacrosse player also in his high school days. So you see Ian Book, a guy who grew up a basketball fan in the Sacramento area. Big fan of Mike Bibby and the Sacramento Kings. Here's Catherine.
Well, Mike, I spoke to Ian Book's high school coach at Oak Ridge, Eric Cavalier. He told me that tonight there's a watch party in Book's hometown of El Dorado Hills at the local restaurant El Dorado Saloon and Grill. The owner, Ron Martin's son, Brock Martin, played with Ian growing up, and it's a proud community cheering him on tonight, Mike.
Well, Gabe Reed got to him there. They didn't like that moment, but they have seen a lot of success from Book. And we've seen a lot of Reed here in this first half. A loss of 9 on that play.
3 straight plays that Reed has had an opportunity coming off the edge. He comes underneath and gets there, and this time wraps him up and holds him. I'll tell you, that was a nice little slide move, but he's had 3 straight shots to get him. He's 1 for 3.
He got right past Liam Eichenberg, the left tackle.
He got beat across his face because he came down hard. There was a blitz coming off the edge.
Avery Davis takes the check down, blocking downfield for the Irish receivers. And Davis gets to the 37-yard line, nowhere near the first down. So on 3rd and 17, the Irish will get stopped. A little quiet back there at Ian Book's old haunt in California, outside of Sacramento. It's really cool to see the hometown folks who knew Ian Book knew him back in the day, getting together to watch him in this big spot. That Notre Dame quarterback, it's such a big job. He's heard from Joe Theismann, he's heard from Lou Holtz, and now all Irish fans will be talking about him week in, week out. This guy's made a difference. Tyler Newsome. It wasn't his best punch, but gets a good roll and will be down inside the 15. All the way down to the 10-yard line. So 53 on the kick for Newsome. Halfway through the second. Number 7 and number 8. Tie.
David Q with the game break. The other top 10 matchup. Number 9, Penn State hosting number 4, Ohio State. First quarter, Trace McSorley airing it out. Jawan Johnson rising and making the crazy one-handed grab. That sets up this, a 34-yard field goal. Penn State has since added another, and they lead Ohio State 6-0 in the second quarter.
All right, Liam, defense is digging in there. Hard to move it down the field. Keep an eye on that one. Liam and Chris Sims join you at halftime. Stanford scored on its last 2 drives. And the Cardinals take over at their own 10. 2
high safety should run the ball.
KJ Costello does just that. The Heisman runner-up from a year ago, Bryce Love, gets 1, maybe 2 yards. Jonathan Bonner on the stop. Bonner, one of the starters on Clark Lee's defense. This is a defense that has opened eyes as this season's gone along here, Doug.
I'll tell you, I had a chance to talk to him before the game down on the sideline. He was like, the guys were fired up. The energy level was great this week. Last night in meetings, everybody was dialed in. He was very excited about it, except for when Bryce Love touches the ball.
That's right, Doug, because
he has to hold his breath.
Yeah, that's what he said. Every time he touches the ball, I'm going to hold my breath because you know he's 1 step away from going a long way. He's come close to some big runs this year. 4-man rush. Costello got rid of it incomplete. In the other hands, the tight end. And we've got 3rd down coming up. That ends a 9-for-9 streak with that Caden Smith drop.
That's a ball Caden Smith can catch and does all the time, and it would have created an much easier 3rd down situation. Now you're sitting at 3rd and long. You don't have to lock up one-on-one on the outside. You can go with your 4-man rush and play a little coverage.
It's been a bend but don't break Irish-type defense so far, but they need to get off the field more on 3rd down. Stanford going to run it down here with Love. Got out of 1 tackle, not the other one. Even though it's 3rd down, they were looking at 21st. Tavon Coney finished off the deal, struck his pose, and 4th down coming up.
So Tavon Coney on the inside, mirroring Bryce Love, fighting off his block, and comes up after penetration by Julian Acquire in the backfield. That was key because they did have numbers up front that time because Notre Dame was playing coverage. Coney's been all over the field early in this game.
Chris Fink back for Jake Bailey's kick. Great kick. Wow. Beauty. 65 yards. Took Fink all the way back to the 21. Space to make a return. He got past them. Flag is down as Fink takes off across midfield into Stanford territory at the 7-yard line. But as we said, a marker came down. And it looks like it will negate this 33-yard return by Fink.
I believe it was 35 Bracey. He just had his hands on the guy. I don't know if he really shoved him.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 35. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
That is Tariq Bracey, the freshman. So instead of the Irish taking it over in Stanford territory, they'll be back inside their own 20 when we come back.
Hey, I'm Adam Driver. Stick around after the game for the season premiere of SNL with musical guest Kanye West.
And now back to the exciting football at the football game,
where one team is playing the heck out of the game.
But don't count out that other team yet. Let's send it back to South Bend.
All right, get a slam dunk.
I say we bring more people in the booth, right?
That's absolutely.
Season premiere Saturday Night Live coming up. The man in the middle, Adam Driver. The actor is the guest host, Adam Driver from Mishawaka, Indiana. He went to Mishawaka High School 6 miles from here. So it's a local South Bend tie to start Saturday Night Live's great season. Live for you tonight here on NBC. After your local news, a run of 3 to get the drive going for the Irish. Tony Jones, or rather Dexter Williams, I should say, off the bottom of the pile.
Don't count out that other team. Which one was which? I don't know.
Easily confused, right? Williams, again, waited for the block and has the first down to the 30-yard line. Robert Hainsey came over to clear a path, and the chains move as we get inside of 5 minutes here in this first half.
The whole right side of the line pulled there, both Hainsey and Kramer, and they're doing a great job. He's being patient behind those blocks, allowing it to happen.
A lot of first down passes for the Irish thus far tonight. They're going to keep it on the ground here with Williams.
If it's not broke, don't fix it, run it again. Both 2 plays in a row. The Kramer and Hainsey, the right side of that line, pulling. He looks explosive, doesn't he?
He sure does. You know he was anxious to get back on the field after being out for those first 4 games. Avery Davis continues to expand his role. Again, he was a quarterback when he was recruited. 5 in the pattern here for Book. And he'll take off. And Ian Book will have the first down to the 42-yard line.
Great patience. He really didn't have anything. He's looking to his left, and he's sitting there. But watch 71 Alex Bars go look for work and clean it up inside so he takes off north and south.
Great pickup there. Quarterbacks who run love that. Right to Miles Boykin. Been busy in the first half. Boykin to the 48-yard line. It was Boykin and Book who connected on that big play against LSU. Boykin seems to be a bit shaken up on the field there after that tackle. So too does Elijah Holder, Stanford corner. Both get up. And the official's going to do a good job here. Make sure Boykin gets to the sideline, gets looked at for a moment. And Kevin Austin, a freshman from Fort Lauderdale, will check in. Boykin with 4 of the 7 completions from Book thus far. First look wasn't there, so Book heads to the sideline, and that'll be no gain with Sean Barton. There to knock him out. 3rd down coming up.
I was expecting Austin. He pulled the ball to throw a quick slant, and it just ended up not being there. I don't know if Austin didn't run the route, but left the Book hanging just a little bit. 3rd and 5.
Paulson Adebo, Stanford's really emerging sophomore corner, is going to be up at the top of the screen, number 11, covering Claypool. Book rolling that way, throws on the run, incomplete, was broken up, and a great play coming over by Joey Alfieri. Fans wanted to call as Kevin Austin was the intended receiver, but instead Stanford will send on the Notre Dame punting unit.
Alfieri, he covers some ground now. He's running with a wide receiver all the way across. He gets a little tug there, but no call on the play. He's reaching, starts to turn, but the ball's already there.
Tyler Newsome will punt it away for the Irish. Let it bounce. And it'll be a touchback. So 52 for the Gross, just a net of 32. And Stanford with 3:11 and only one timeout left. Will take over, trying to take the lead into the locker room. State Farm halftime report coming up here from South Bend. Liam McHugh, Chris Sims. We'll take a look at Ian Book. And a spotlight, well, the scores and highlights from around college football. Update that Penn State-Ohio State game. And we'll talk about the Ryder Cup. Look ahead to tomorrow morning here on NBC, 6 a.m. Eastern. The Ryder Cup singles matches, the U.S. work to do. State Farm halftime report coming up. By the way, these two institutions have terrific golf courses on their campuses. Just thought we'd throw that in. The Warren course here. Flutie Tappan and I played. The course survived. Barely. Costello first down. Toss. That's Colby Parkinson, the tight end across midfield for the first down. 32 to the 6'7" tight end.
Beautiful back shoulder throw as they're speeding up here, but just perfectly placed ball with a tall 6'7" receiver.
Catch number 9 on the year for Parkinson. 3 of his first 8 touchdowns. Costello. Contact, but the catch is made. 45-yard line. Arcega-Whiteside's 4th grab of the night. Costello 11 of 15 thus far.
I thought Stanford lined up him with the ball and didn't go fast.
We'll jump into this. They've had an effective game throwing the ball so far. Costello, high percentage. Underneath, the pass was intended for Parkinson, but incomplete as Tavon Coney stepped in front.
Really nice job by Coney. He's had an upfield route, comes off his man, comes under, make a play on that.
And he's really proud of how he's developed in coverage as a linebacker.
Yeah, and he's waiting for that day he gets an opportunity to catch that thing and go the other way and show off that he can be a running back.
As he was in high school, there's a player who really took to Clark Lee when the now defensive coordinator was the linebackers coach last year. And he has emerged in an every down essential for the Irish D. 3rd and 6, a lot of misdirection. Costello's going to bring it over, incomplete. He's trying to get Michael Wilson ready to go. Drew Tranquil was standing, waiting, crushed him. And a drive of promise stops quickly for Stanford.
Boy, Wilson was open early if he just came out and threw it out there, but he's reading downfield first. Drew Tranquil closes in a hurry and so late with the throw that if Tranquil had gone in between, he was going the other way. He was there early enough to cut that off, but he knew he was late, so he's just going for the receiver. Wilson breaks up the play.
Well, that misdirection is Smith, the tight end, was streaking open, but then just at the last second, he saw the safety. And certainly Costello decided to come back to the safe throw. Bailey puts the nose down, try to get this one tough to catch. Fink lets it go, and the Cardinal can't stop it. And came so close to downing it at the 1-yard line. Instead, it'll be Notre Dame ball at the 20. Looks like the 2 players, as Irwin was one of the 2 Stanford Cardinals, they're almost got each other's way a little bit. And they played hot potato with it.
It's like infielders. You got it, I'll take it. Let it drop in between.
There's 2 gunners who are very effective in Murphy and Irwin. Converged but couldn't collect. 2:03, Notre Dame, full boat of timeouts. Ian Book throws the slant. It's caught. Gain of a dozen. Boykin with a grab for the 5th time in this half.
What a difference. I mean, you're pinned down on the 1-yard line 2 minutes ago in the half. You're conservative with the ball. You're not going to take any chances. Now you're out at the 20. First down completion. You're off and running into the 2-minute offense.
5 for 54 for Boykin. Book design run. And he'll take it to the 35-yard line, just shy of the 36. First down pickup of 3. So Notre Dame trying to do the old Patriots thing here. I think Belichick loves to do. Score, halftime, get the ball back, and score again. Big momentum builder. Look on the out. right there as Boykin makes the break. First down at the 46-yard line.
It's not bad coverage. Holden's right there. He's playing off, so he breaks hard on the throw, but the timing and the placement of the ball is perfect.
See if Stanford can get a pass rush, something they have been missing this year. It is being given and being taken. The out in front of Holder. Boykin grabs 7 of this first half.
If you're efficient in the pass game, if there is off coverage, that is stealing to you as a quarterback and receiver.
Right. Still off coverage again. Now Boykin a little deeper. And Boykin's got it again. He made a move. Boykin inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. Sean Barton saves a touchdown. 43 on the game.
Boy, this time the corner did roll up. He rolls up. He stays short, so you hit the little short corner route in between the safety. Beautiful ball placement again and timing.
Irish walking it down the field, 1:01 to go. Everything's covered. Book buying time. Got a block, taken off, and gets out of bounds. In game 2 on the play. 47 seconds, still a full complement of timeouts for Notre Dame.
He's got the little fish hook move down where you start to step to the right and spin back out to the left. Love it. That was Dylan Jackson
Notre Dame.
chasing him.
First of the half. 30 seconds.
You see Book on the drive. This meeting 33 between these teams. Our top performance brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Takes you back to the first one. New Year's Day, 19 and 25. New Rockne's team and Pop Warner's team. Notre Dame, Stanford, Elmer Layton outshining Stanford's Ernie Nevers, scoring 3 touchdowns, including 2 on interception returns. Irish finished 10-0. First of 11 national championships in the Rose Bowl. New Year's Day, 1925, the first ever meeting between Stanford and Notre Dame. The only other one when both were undefeated, as they are here tonight.
I had to leave that game early. Yeah, I missed the end.
Practice?
Yeah.
Do you have a baseball game to pitch?
Yeah, something.
People don't know, by the way, Flutie still plays baseball. Not softball, baseball. He threw 110 pitches in a playoff game. You're crazy. You are a kid at heart. And, you know, I think you relate to Ian Book.
Yes.
Because Ian Book's 6 foot. He's not 6'5". He's not out of the quarterback manual of height, weight, and everything else, but he just makes plays.
He played other sports, lacrosse, basketball. He loves the game. He's a gym rat. And I like the way he plays the game.
He's got Tony Jones next to him. It's 2nd and 8. 5 options to throw. Book gets away from the rush. Book throws. End zone touchdown. What a play to reset and find Chase Claypool. But a flag down. Flag down in the end zone.
Holding. Defense, number 10. The penalties decline. The result of the play, touchdown.
Just sliding and moving inside the pocket. Tommy Kramer on Alfieri almost gets a hold here, a little takedown. But great shifting of the feet, moving. And watch the bodies. A little snap of the hips. Wow. Throw back from the left to the right. Little turn the hips, open up, sidearm that thing in there. That's being an athlete. It's a shortstop.
Yep. Pivot and throw. Fire. And good awareness with the eyes upfield. Justin Yoon. 3 extra points tonight. A dozen points away from #1 on the all-time list. 21-14. Book's 2nd touchdown toss of the night. 2nd on the season. 4th of Chase Claypool's career. We talk about athleticism, and look, they're all athletes, but that multi-sport athleticism. Claypool is a terrific basketball player. You see his skill set throughout. That's why he's on so many special teams for Notre Dame. He's made a tackle earlier on special teams tonight, but emerging as a deep threat using that size and speed at 6'4". And dug a terrific drive that, as you made a great point, didn't start at their own 1, but started at the 20 because the Cardinal couldn't down it, and it might have cost them.
Yep, absolutely. The ball should have been down at the 1. They make a mistake. They let it get away. Ball goes in the end zone. That's a 19-yard difference. Now you got a comfort zone. You're out there near the 20, and you complete your first pass. You're off and running, and you're into your 2-minute offense. instead of being conservative, and it's the difference in putting 7 points on the board before the half.
Jonathan Dorr kicking for the Irish. Well, the line drive, but will not be returned. Touchback. And let's go back to Book on that last drive.
That started out, he completes a couple of balls that are rhythm-type throws. The slant to start the drive. First play of a 2-minute drive is always the biggest. These off-coverage, perfectly placed, perfectly timed out routes. And then, because there's a rolled corner, that's probably a read route that might have been like an out route. But because it's a rolled corner, it converts to the short corner route, and you beat the cover two. Then he becomes an athlete. Scrambling around, moving around, and this snap of the hips and throw, exceptional. Now, 90% of the coaches out. No, don't throw that. Don't. It's a dangerous little move, but he's comfortable. He's confident. And I've said about him before. He commits to every throw. He believes what he sees and commits to the throw.
Game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
39 seconds left. Now 1st and 15. David Shaw's team only with 1 timeout left. We'll see what their plan is here. We're moving the ball effectively, throwing it.
Doesn't hurt to put 3 shots up downfield or start with the screen to Bryce Love.
Costello hit and sacked. Almost lost the ball as Tillery got sack number 4 on the season.
Just a great push by 99, Jerry Tillery.
Timeout.
That's Nate Herbig, their best offensive lineman. He's just putting them in the backfield, pushing them past the quarterback, and then getting to the quarterback.
A good timeout taken by Notre Dame. They're going to force Stanford to make some plays here. 22 seconds left. We're back in third.
30 seconds. 3-0.
It's a rough week for Stanford. An exhilarating win in Eugene against Oregon. Get back to Palo Alto late Saturday night. Then classes started this week. And then come east to play Notre Dame and arrive on Thursday night. So they've had a long week. Love trying to cut it upfield. Dalen Hayes going to spin him down. Notre Dame use that 3rd timeout. They will with 22 on the clock here before halftime.
They're 3rd of the half. 30 seconds.
Gives us a chance to remind you that tonight's aerial coverage is being brought to you by the unexpected energy of ExxonMobil. We're here for practice the other night, Thursday evening, and Brian Kelly reminded his Notre Dame players, as the typical get your mind right for the game, all that stuff. They only have 2 more games here. They'll play Pittsburgh, they'll play Florida State. Their game against now surprising Syracuse will be at Yankee Stadium at the end of the season. So taking care of their home field, the goal of an undefeated season at home for the Irish, really comes down to the next really 2 quarters, to be honest, the way Pitt and Florida State are playing.
You know, 4 out of your first 5 games are at home. The rest are on the road. That's a tough haul. You know, no matter what, your difficult games are going to be behind you soon as far as your higher-ranked teams and the games that potentially could be the most difficult.
False start. Offense. Number 74. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
It's Devery Hamilton, who has returned, did not play the game against Oregon. You know, David Shaw's team has the conference in the Pac-12. They've got the big win over the Ducks, and they'll have a game against Washington coming up. For Notre Dame, the margin for error, as you know, is limited because of not having a conference championship route. It's Love going left, strung out, got to stay in bounds. He does. The Irish can't stop the clock, and the Cardinals shut her down and take it to the locker room for halftime. As we said, the Irish get the ball first, so that score, stop, and a chance to come back to start the second half with some points. Very important for Notre Dame. Dalen Hayes shaken up at the end of that first half. They'll look ahead. 21-14 Notre Dame. Liam McHugh, Chris Sims, State Farm halftime report coming up after these messages and a word from New York, the local station.
You're watching Notre Dame football on NBC, presented by Michelin.
And back here at Notre Dame Stadium on this 54-degree overcast night, Irish lead by 7. First half stats brought to you by Michelin. Notre Dame 307 yards, good balance in production. They've run it on a 2-to-1 ratio compared to pass attempts and have held Bryce Love in check as Liam and Chris were talking about 13 carries, 69 yards for Love, 39 of them coming on 1 carry. And Brian Kelly's team will get the ball to start this second half as David Shaw's team is a heck of a lot closer than they were at halftime a week ago. Oregon had a big advantage, was knocking on the door of a 31-7 lead.
Or in the fourth quarter, or in the minute and a half, 2 minutes ago.
Able to get it done in the end in Eugene. Trying to come from behind here. Winner stays perfect through the first month of the season. Michael Young will let it go. It'll be a touchback. Irish take over the 25, and here's Catherine Tappan.
Well, Mike, Brian Kelly told me at halftime that he thought his quarterback, Ian Book, was hesitant early on in this game. It's a big stage here tonight, but he liked the way that he settled in. Dexter Williams making his season debut. 99 yards in the first half, including a touchdown. Was no surprise to Brian Kelly. He said he knew he had big playability, and it's important that his production continues with Jafar Armstrong out. David Shaw told me his team has got to tackle better and close the lanes to run. He told me Ian Book is a very nifty quarterback. We have to keep him in the pocket, Mike.
All right, Tap, great stuff from 2 head coaches who have a great deal of respect for one another. Irish begin this drive at the 25. It'll be just a yard. Now that opening carry with Williams. Sean Barton making the tackle. Again, Doug, just the big picture perspective. Those of you watching Ohio State, Penn State at the half now. This Notre Dame season has changed because the schedule that was daunting for a while there is a little bit less daunting. They're still tough games, and if they're important, they'll be difficult, but this might be the best team Notre Dame plays the rest of the year. It's a huge half of football. Book on the roll, throwing it away and incomplete. And it'll be third down. No receiver in the area. Book rolled out to the right.
He has a chance underneath, but because of the pass rush, he gets flushed early, getting out of there, and just good job throwing the football away. He would have had a receiver coming underneath Claypool. Stanford looks a little more aggressive in the front to start the second half. Penetration on the run plays, and again, pressure on that one on the pass.
Here comes the pressure. They bring the blitz. Book escapes to his left and just throws it away. Was it intercepted? It looked like the player was out of bounds for Stanford. An incomplete. Book, instead of taking the sack yardage, flipped it forward. He's out of the tackle box, so got it over the line of scrimmage. Paulson Adebo is over there with the pressure. Fourth down.
So Stanford's decided to turn it up. It's pressure the quarterback. Dexter Williams misses his blitz pickup. Book on the corner. This is the only way he could get rid of it, so he shovels it to throw it out of bounds, but he left it in bounds, and this is a fraction from being intercepted.
Debo is the player who dove over there to try to make the interception. Trenton Irwin's back deep to receive for Stanford. He's normally number 2, but he puts on 38, so there aren't 2 38s on the field at once. Tyler Newsome with a very high kick that'll be fielded at the 23-yard line. And Irwin turns it up, and he'll be brought down at the 33. NCAA's got a lot of issues. One of them is double numbers in football games, and guys changing numbers during games. It's preposterous. Different story, different time. Speaker for all the announcers in the country. Let's talk about Bryce Love, because this is a guy who had every chance in the world to go to the NFL, because your career is made when you're number 2 and have the kind of season he had. Out of Wake Forest High School, North Carolina. We know about his medical background, wants to be a pediatrician, does stem cell research. He backed up Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey gets hurt the game here 2 years ago. He makes his debut. It's a splash with 129 rushing yards. And then the season, 21-18, second in the Heisman race to Baker Mayfield. And now he comes back. It's this gain of 2. Doug, it's about half as many yards per carry this year compared to last year. Everybody gets off the bus wanting to stop number 20.
Absolutely. I mean, it's almost exactly half. But, you know, he's doing his part by making teams defend the run, and it's opening up the pass game for Stanford. They've got big receivers. They can make plays in the pass game. He's just doing his part. Last night, talking to him, you still know he's going to bust that one long run here or there. Every time he touches the ball, he's a threat to go to distance.
He was patient and did it in the Oregon game last week. Toss. A lot of folks coming his way to help, but the Irish shoot the gap, and Osmar Bilal takes it away. Big loss on the play.
Great angle by Bilal. He took an angle to turn this thing in. He comes running from the outside, and he's got Coney coming from the inside, but he cut across the face to contain and make sure Bryce Love doesn't get to the edge. 22.
Bilal has played this rover position and really done a good job for the Irish this year. Out of Ben Davis High School in Indianapolis, the senior forces third and a dozen. Four in the pattern, now five. KJ Costello rolls and throws. It's no first down as Caden Smith is stopped with a gain of 4, but a flag is down back by where the quarterback was.
Holding. Offense. Number 75. 10-yard penalty. Replay, third down.
Second foul for ATL. They declined that penalty. There's no way you're taking that penalty.
Hall 75 right in front there. He's got his hand underneath. And it's when the defender tries to pull away. You know, you can grip in there, grab a hold when you're blocking, but as the defender tries to pull away, you got to release. That was an amazing throw and catch. I know it wasn't a conversion, but it really was.
And the referee didn't ask the sideline if they wanted the penalty or not, so obviously it was declined. So it'll be back-to-back 3-and-outs. Notre Dame and Stanford to start this third quarter, and the Irish will kick it away. Jake Bailey almost quote-unquote outkicked the coverage last time and gave Chris Fink room to run. This one, Fink will fair catch at the 24-yard line. That's where the Irish will take over. Just under 3 minutes gone in the third. Two undefeated teams meeting in South Bend. Irish by 7. Notre Dame football is brought to you by Verizon. Now go mix and match family unlimited plans. By U.S. Bank, the power of possible. By State Farm, talk to an agent today at 1-800-STATE-FARM. And by Jersey Mike's Subs, be a sub above. Some pretty good names, pretty good players over the years, part of Notre Dame Stanford history, including Andrew Luck, the Heisman runner-up. Great to see him back on the field. Downstate here in Indiana for the Colts, and KJ Costello and Ian Book get to be a part of the 33rd meeting between these two teams. First down, it's a run. It's Dexter Williams getting across the 30-yard line to the 31, so they continue to use Williams here, coming off his best summer in terms of physical conditioning, attention to detail. And after that 4 games out, big impact here tonight. First down to the 38-yard line for Williams there. And Sean Barton is inside to make the tackle for the Cardinals.
Getting the run game going. Alex Barr, 71, left guard. Nice little pull on the play before this. He had Hainsey pulling from the other side. Hainsey didn't get there in time. Dexter just hit the hole first. This time he waits for his block from Barrs up through there. Doing a good job getting angles.
3 in a row. And that one's for a yard or so. So if Brandon Wimbush, who was not just the starting quarterback, but a winner at 12-3 and very effective. He'd run for 1,000 yards and 16 career touchdowns. If that's not there, yes, Book can scramble, but he can't take it big play like Wimbush. So the guys up front need to do their job if the run game is going to continue to be a part of what the Irish do.
No doubt about it. And the zone read game was such a big deal with Wimbush and the ability to have big plays out of that.
Boykin, back shoulder throw, incomplete. Elijah Holder was all over him in coverage. It'll be third down coming up.
With Wimbush, there were a lot of design quarterback runs. With Ian Book, yeah, he runs a little bit of that, but it's more off the scramble, holding on to the ball to make the play down the field in the pass game.
And let's just say this about the individual, a kid who is loved and respected by his team. We asked Brian Kelly, how's he been? And he said, I grade him an A- this week. His preparation has been excellent. He said if his week was an A grade, something would be wrong. But he was upset. He's down a little bit, but he didn't show it in his preparation. He prepared like he was the starter this week. A lot of credit to that young man handling that situation. 3rd and 9 for Ian Book, chased by Reed. Throws complete. Fink turned it upfield and got a first down. To the 45 for Chris Fink. The senior from Dayton keeps this drive going with a gain of 16-yarders.
Great job of extending the play, and Barton's drifting, finally has to commit to the quarterback. Boom, pulls the trigger, completion.
Book keeping, running to the edge, and he pushed out of bounds by Joey Alfieri.
And that last play, that's a basketball play. That's a draw defender to you, put it over his head. Is he going to back up? Is he going to come to you?
Chip Long's been able to go a little bit deeper on that play card now and do some of the pass stuff that will set up runs and vice versa. Bounce to the outside this time for Tony Jones. He'll get the first down and get out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Irish on the move. Let's go down to Catherine.
Like, according to Chris Fink, the transition from Brandon Wimbush to Ian Book has been seamless. He told me this week that Book has a great comfort level with the offense, and his quiet confidence makes him a great leader. He said the biggest thing he saw with Book in their game against Wake Forest, his ability to finish in the second half, something he knows will be critical tonight if the Irish want to get the win, Mike.
And part of him seamlessly taking over. That's a big spot in that locker room and beyond. Book in trouble here, gets rid of it, kept it alive. It's caught by Michael Young, dancing, trying to keep the loss to a minimum, and he'll lose 2, maybe 3 yards. You got to keep everybody involved and together, because you know the way things go during a season. You're probably going to need both quarterbacks.
Yeah, maybe he shouldn't have pulled it here. Maybe made a mistake there. But now look at the athleticism, avoiding getting away. This is the most athletic 3-yard loss of the day by both receiver and quarterback.
It's tough, Doug. You know, you've lived through these situations. It's a challenge for both individuals.
No doubt about it. I mean, it is. Even the guy becoming the starter, you're walking on eggshells a little bit.
Avery Davis out of the backfield with the release. Cannot get away from Sean Barton, who covered a lot of real estate to set up a 3rd and long.
And then Brandon Wimbush has been nothing but a winner. Class act. Continue to work hard. You've got to support the starter, but you're still going to be ready and prepared. And Brandon will. I mean, there'll be a situation where he's definitely needed at some point during this season.
Hey, we saw the situation with Clemson. Kelly Bryant says he's going to transfer. Trevor Lawrence plays, gets hurt in the first half against Syracuse. And Chase Bryce bailed him out with that one big play on 4th down. Otherwise, Clemson's championship dreams would be over right now. Interesting dynamic. Credit to the individuals handling it for the moment here. 3rd and 10. Book out of traffic. On the run. Not going to get there. He'll be stopped at the 20. It's 4th and 2. It's a 7-point game. Right around the halfway mark of the 3rd quarter. Brian Kelly's going to take the chance to go up 2 possessions. You like this decision?
Absolutely. Kick the field goal, get the 2-possession lead. You got a nice drive. Stanford has definitely turned up the pressure, trying to bring a 5-man rush, trying to contain but push the pocket. And Ian Book is feeling that a little bit.
So Justin Yu will go for his 6th field goal on the season. It will be a 37-yard attempt. And Yoon out of the Book hole. That's his 48th career field goal for the Fighting Irish. 3rd all-time in that list. He continues to move up. He's now 9 points shy of the all-time Notre Dame scoring record.
Wednesday night hockey is the night where stars come to play, and it all kicks off with an action-packed doubleheader. First at 7:30 Eastern, the Washington Capitals raise their first ever Stanley Cup banner before hosting the Bruins. Then at 10:30, it's a California clash. Anaheim visits San Jose. Wednesday night hockey begins this Wednesday on NBCSN. Mike, you're ready.
Who is hosting that show? Catherine, have fun in D.C. It'll be a great night.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
As they raise the banner, and then we'll look forward to watching Erik Karlsson. He was in Ottawa, not a lot of chances to see him. He's going to be in San Jose now. Going to be a great opportunity to watch the Sharks coming up this year. Catherine and Liam and our NHL team ready to roll. All right, that's Bryce Love back there. Stanford wants to get something going. Will he get his hands on this kickoff? Yeah, Dora hit a line drive. So here comes Love from the 3, looking for space up the middle of the field, and he's brought down at the 25-yard line. Well covered. What about the matchup with J.J. Arcega-Whiteside and Julian Love for Notre Dame?
So this is going to be a physical matchup all night, and Julian Love loves to get his hands on his receivers as much as possible. The timing routes are the only things that are working. You know, when you put the brakes on, the ball's out of a break. But otherwise, the upfield stuff, the speed is not going to beat Julian Love. He's going to be there. It's those timing type throws where they might get a completion, and then the jump ball in the end zone that Arcega-Whiteside comes up with. He's got 4 for 24, but the separation is really not happening.
Not on the field for the opening part of this drive. Julian Love has had a very, very good year. Preseason 2nd team All-America for the Irish. KJ Costello under pressure. Gets rid of it, underthrown and nearly intercepted. Caden Smith, the tight end, did a good job. He helped keep Jalen Elliott from what would have been Elliott's third interception of the year.
Khalid Kareem has the pressure on him, which forces a ball lobbed in the air. He overran it. He was running to where the ball should have been. And all of a sudden, because it was lobbed and a little late, it was behind him and he couldn't turn to make the play. He had a good break on the ball. If he put the ball in the right spot, I'm intercepting it, Coach.
And Doug, that's because of the pressure you mentioned with Kareem. He got in there and he didn't give Costello a chance to get that 6'5" frame uncoiled to throw. Costello finds some space on the run. Bilal with the coverage on Smith that time. Incomplete.
Nice field by Costello in the pocket, sliding, moving, buying a little time. Throws a good ball, but Bilal's there and makes a beautiful play on the ball. Beautiful play, getting his right arm across, knocked this play down.
Third down. Love is the back. 5 in the pattern. Costello hits it through. And it's knocked down. Did the Irish come up with it or did it hit the ground? I thought initially that pressure by Julian Okwara knocked it as a forward pass. Let's see what the call is on the field.
Ruling on the field is a forward pass.
Interception. It never hit the ground.
Dalen Hayes has this ball hit him.
Thought it bounced.
It does.
Okay.
It gets to the ground. He almost comes up with it.
Like he had the chance here. There it is. Okay, I thought I saw that nose hit the ground as Hayes was down. Ruled on the field a pick. So they'll look at it, stop the game, realize it's not going to be fourth down.
Review.
But again, Doug, the edge pressure that Notre Dame has dialed up in big passing downs this year is part of the story of what this defense has been about.
In the last few years, they really haven't had a pass rush. They really have not. And this year, their front seven, their rotation of players in the D-line, they've got legitimate pass rushers in Dalen Hayes, Julian Okwara, and there's no doubt this ball touches the ground.
You don't need to look at Terry, do you?
I can look at Terry. Terry, you want to comment on this? I got to, you know what?
I think you got this one nailed.
I'm deferring to Terry on
really
everything.
Good.
Because
this is awesome.
I quit about 3 weeks ago.
You nailed it.
You know, you get a guy who's been the referee of the Super Bowl 3 times, 20 years of NFL officiating, college supervisor for a decade, and you need to look at him every time the ball bounces.
You think he could make a call? I messed with Terry. One of his first games. Was it your first game? It was in your first year, Terry.
It was my first year as a referee in 2001.
I go to spike the ball at the end of the game. We're going to line up and kick a field goal against the Patriots.
Right.
And the ball slips out of my hand and goes sideways. It ends up being a fumble. He ruled it incomplete. They had to review it. We lose 5 yards on the play, and we hit the crossbar on the field goal and don't make it.
And that was his fault? Or your...
Well, it was...
well, we both screwed it up.
Okay, good. That's good.
We both screw it up.
That's why I'm glad we brought you both together.
Did we have a replay at that time, Terry?
That play was not reviewable. It is now.
So it was blown dead.
But it was,
and it should have been a fumble rolling around.
Correct. We're talking because they're still talking. Again, the communications with the Pac-12 officiating crew on the field, ACC for replay. So when it takes this long, you start thinking, did I miss something there? It looked like the ball clearly bounced. And then even when he came down on the ground, the ball was loose and free. The question might have been, is it a forward pass or a fumble? That would be the only other thing they could be talking about.
I don't think there was any doubt that it was a forward pass.
It seems like it just took him this long to get...
After review, the pass was incomplete. Fourth down. Please reset the game clock to 7 minutes, 42 seconds. 7:42.
There's always the...
Yeah, I think it took him that long to get the down, the distance, the time, everything else. Maybe could have done that a little quicker.
It was all clear. So that's a fifth, third and out, 3 and out for Stanford, I should say. Notre Dame's had just 1, and they've been really getting this Stanford offense off the field before they can gain momentum on a drive. Jake Bailey with the kick. Fink will late signal for the fair catch, but the Irish will take over at their own 25. Halfway through this third quarter, Notre Dame's biggest lead of the night.
Leaving you with a game break. BYU already with an upset over Wisconsin. Different story tonight against number 11 Washington. Huskies and Myles Gaskin in control. It is 14-0 late in the second quarter. Mike.
Wow, great start for them. Jake Browning's become the all-time leader in passing yards in Washington history. Remember, Washington lost to Auburn. They may be as good as any other team in the Pac-12. Stanford will go to Seattle early November. Here, they're in South Bend and watching Dexter Williams have a good night tonight. Injury for the Irish there, and Alex Bars, their best offensive lineman, is down. He's the left guard for Notre Dame. And has started in different spots on the offensive line. Second team All-America in the preseason. And immediate concern is Rob Hunt, the director of athletic training, comes out there as Bars got bent back, that left leg underneath him. And Alfieri falls right on him, Joey Alfieri. Just in the pile of players. Talking about the grading of players when you talk about offensive players and their grading thus far. Pro Football Focus, which does a terrific job of assessing player performance, has Alex Bars as the top performing offensive lineman on Notre Dame this year and the top performing offensive player. He has been that good, and he's so important to what happens up front for the Irish.
Well, they moved him over to left guard this year to be with Eichenberg on the left side because he was the only one without game time experience, so he's over there solidifying that. He works next to Sam Mustipher in the middle. And they have solidified this offensive line this year with some young guys around them. He's a force. He's strong. He moves people. He double teams. He gets really good movement.
57 is Trevor Ruland, who started at guard last week for Tommy Kramer, and he's come out for the moment, and he'll likely be the player in there at left guard. So as they continue to look at Bars, those of you who have been bouncing around tonight, let you know Dexter Williams, in his debut, didn't play the first 4 games, has 119 rushing yards. Bryce Love has been held in check. 2 carries for -3 yards in the second half. He does have a touchdown. KJ Costello and JJ Arcega-Whiteside, 8th time this year they've connected. But Ian Book has been very sharp. 5 incompletions, 2 touchdowns, including that one to Nick Wisher that put the Irish up 14-7. Game's been tied twice at 7 and 14. Notre Dame scored the last 10. But short and long term, there's a concern as Bars comes off.
It's a little encouraging that he's walking on it, but looked a little scary.
Yeah, and as we've seen, it's Ruland from Cary, Illinois, checks in his spot at left guard. As we've seen historically, players can still have other damage that only shows up in an MRI or other test, even though they are able to walk off. Williams with the carry to the 32-yard line. We'll bring up 3rd down here.
And Trevor Ruland stepping in, a senior. He started last week, as you said. He's got plenty of playing time. He's not inexperienced.
Ruland played a couple of games last year that were pretty much decided, but did show quite well when he got 60 snaps. Really everything with the first team last week against Wake Forest. Stanford, a little defensive confusion on 3rd and 3. Book rolling to his right, going to keep it and not get anything out of it. So even though there was a lot of confusion with the Cardinal, they were still able to get him off the field for the moment. But as you see, a flag is down. Right where Book was starting to roll out.
Offense, number 78. The penalties decline. 4th down.
It's Tommy Kramer at right guard. And a lot of time, there's a right guard, there's Tommy. He reaches. Okereke actually, he's so athletic. He hits gaps and run through, and just a step quicker, you reach out and hold.
Good call.
And as he and Book out on the corner, a lot of times when there's substitution and people run, you don't know what the coverage is, and so you wait for things to declare and clarify, and you're late on a throw.
Tyler Newsome kicking to Michael Wilson. Good kick. 50 yards. Wilson from the 18. Brought down by Chase Claypool. Second excellent special teams tackle by Claypool tonight to go with his touchdown reception. Chase Claypool having a game against the Cardinal. Gives him a long field. Another special teams takedown.
Big two-year update from Happy Valley. Number 4, Ohio State starts the second half with a statement. A 13-play, 75-yard drive capped by the J.K. Dobbins score. Buckeyes lead the Nittany Lions 14-13.
Wow, they have 168 yards in the game, so they were really stymied. Teams aren't converting third downs in that one. Tight defensive battle there. Here Notre Dame is taking a 10-point lead on Stanford. Cardinal trying to get Bryce Love going, and this play's killed before anything else happens.
False start. Offense, number 80. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Scooter Harrington, tight end. Doug, you know his dad quite well.
Yes, his dad, Scott, was our team captain back at Boston College in the '84 season. He and I were classmates. His son Scooter, I had a chance to say hi. Saw hi to mom and dad, old college classmates. Fun little reunion for me and Scott.
Really neat.
6'5" tight end. He's a Stanford tight end. He is a Stanford tight end.
They've cranked him out. So have the Irish too. A lot of noise down here. Student section trying to help out from the 14. Love finds that crease and hits it hard. It's the 23. Maybe 9 before Osmar Bilal makes the tackle.
Bryce Love finally got to run the ball against a good numbers game up front. There were 2 high safeties, so they had decent numbers up front. You get a 9-yard gain. If people want to play pass, he will eat you alive.
Big day tomorrow. Ryder Cup, NASCAR playoffs, Sunday Night Football. Top 10 matchup here tonight. Truly a big event weekend. Don't forget this season premiere of Saturday Night Live right after us and your local news here on NBC this evening. 2nd and 6. Costello jump throw, picked off. Alohi Gilman, flag comes down. As there was contact with the receiver, that was a total 50-50 ball that he put up there for grabs. Not his best decision, but may get away with it with the PI. Let's see everything that happened on this play, including the pass rush as well.
Pass interference. Defense, number 23. A 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Drew Tranquil, 23, is running with Caden Smith up the seam. He's right over him, in alignment. Gets his hands on him. Everything's pretty cool, but he gets there too early and plays into the receiver as Gilman came flying over the top.
That's a correct call and not coming back to try to get the ball with Smith.
Yeah, the shame of the play is Gilman's going to make that play no matter what.
I agree.
But Drew Tranquil doesn't know that's going on.
So that's a break for Stanford, not with the flag. The flag's the absolute correct call. But Costello really put an iffy ball up there. So the drive keeps going from the 38. And Costello zips it. Julian Love gets a hand in there and knocks it away from J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. They've really worked hard on getting their hands on footballs as defensive backs here this year.
What coverage? The rotation goes away. He is one-on-one. Puts his foot in the ground, breaks on the ball, gets a left hand in there and knocks it away. You cannot cover any better than that. It's not like a true press coverage where he had his hands on it from the beginning. He was playing just a couple yards off. He was going to cover any route he runs.
Record-setting, breaking Clarence Ellis's mark from back in the late 60s and early 70s. 2nd and 10. Notre Dame's been getting good pressure of late. Costello clean that time to Trenton Irwin. Scoops it up at the 43-yard line. 3rd and 5 coming up. So many slant plays in college football now. The quick offensive plays. And the mindset, the mantra from defensive coordinator Clark Lee has been fit, front, and finish on these passes to get hands there. So even though it comes close to a catch, a late hand on an arm or the ball to knock it away. And Love and Pride, the 2 corners, have been really good throughout the first month of the season. Costello throws middle of the field's open. Irwin on the run. Trenton Irwin picks up a block and goes down to the 28-yard line. Pickup of 29 and a big one for the Cardinal on third down.
Boy, what patience on his route. There's some protection from behind. It's going to be a little double move, so a little nod to the outside and in, and bang, right in rhythm. Just great patience by Irwin on the move. He didn't just rush it in there. He gave a good, decisive outward move, 2 steps to the out, and then back to the post.
Record-setting high school receiver, child actor from Valencia, California. They call him Mr. Reliable on this team, Trenton Irwin, with a big grab there. So the penalty, the third down conversion. Now from the 28. Costello hit by Kareem and brought down. Colin Kareem, injured earlier, comes in to get the second Notre Dame sack of the night.
It's Kareem on Little out at left tackle, and he just beats him around the edge. Here he is on the outside. Look at him in a sprinter stance, getting down. He gets low, comes underneath, knocks the arms off, and he's right there. That's a short corner. He almost knocks the ball out.
Kareem, Aquara, Hayes, all juniors, have really made a big impact on this Notre Dame front four this year. Second and 16. Aquara forces Costello to step up. Nearly intercepted by Tranquil. It all feeds in. The pressure forced him to step up. Costello couldn't complete the throw, and he almost got picked off.
Yeah, it's Julian Aquara coming around the edge to get pressure. Then he steps up into the mix, and it's, I believe, Jerry Tillery with the hit. And then the ball's up for grabs, and Drew Tranquil's going to be thinking about this one all night. Didn't quite get there. I mean, Tillery's just pushing the pocket in the lap of the quarterback once he steps up.
From here, field goal will be 52. Their kicker has the distance to get it there. It's third and 16. Costello reads it and throws it. It'll be a gain of 6 to make the field goal a little bit closer. As Nick Coleman is there to wrap up J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. That's a smart play. Try to get it back to a one-possession game. Higher percentage field goal attempt for the good kicker, Jet Toner.
Takes it from over 50 yards down to a 46-yarder, legitimate attempt. Those are big yards. That's the area where I would always call a safe route or a quarterback draw, because it's a long yardage situation to pick up that first down, but you need that yardage for the field goal.
This would equal his long 46. Popped to 46 at Utah last year. There's plenty of leg for it. High snap brought down well, and Toner bangs it through. Job well done by Jake Bailey, the punter. Doubles as the holder, brought down a high snap. And it's a 7-point game. Time now for Above the Rest, brought to you by Jersey Mike's Subs. And subbing into the game, Dexter Williams getting it done.
What a big night for him. As soon as he steps on the field, he is explosive at the tailback position. You know he's excited to get on the field. You know he wants the ball. He's got fresh legs, and he has been a dynamic runner, explosive all night. Great addition this week back onto the field with Jafar Armstrong banged up.
Out of Orlando, Florida. He's, for the moment, got the numbers on Bryce Love. Both have big carries. Williams has the 45-yarder that he took to the house to open this game. His first touch of the year after missing the first 4 games of the season.
You know, you get something taken away from you, you get hungry. You get hungry to get back. Jersey Mike's hungry. You get hungry to get back out on the field, get the ball in your hands, and go. And he just wants to show, hey, I'm a part of this team, and I'm going to contribute.
You just did that, right?
I guess.
I did hear it. Don't worry. I heard it. Michael Young's back deep for the Jake Bailey kickoff.
It wasn't intentional.
Yes, it was. Come on, Doug. Fruity. Give me a touchback. Check on that Notre Dame offensive front. Here's Catherine down on the field.
Yeah, Mike, 5th-year senior left guard Alex Bars will not return tonight. He has a left knee injury. He spent some time in the medical tent. Brendan Wimbush actually went in to offer him some encouragement. He's going to stay on the field to be with his teammates tonight, but he will get a full evaluation after this game.
All right. Thank you, Catherine. It's So disappointing for a young man who has really become the leader on this team. He and Sam Mustafa are the two captains, the left guard and the center. And as we said before, Ruland, 57, will step in. With 2:16 left in this third quarter. Each team a field goal in the third. That's through the hands of Alizé Mack, incomplete. And he had some room to run, but Alizé couldn't secure it.
Yeah, he was off and moving. It was a simple little throw underneath, and he's catching that ball running.
Max coming off two of his best games. Did such a good job in the Vanderbilt game of handling pressure. And then at Wake Forest, it was a 6-catch game. The Vanderbilt game was more his blocking and getting the job done, fending off low attempts to bring him down. Jones is shaken up. Tony Jones took a hit, and he is hurt on that run of about 3 yards. It's become a tough second half here for the Irish. Gabe Reed on the hit. And Notre Dame junior running back is being looked at. See, his left leg got rolled up on as Reed brought him down. Holder was making the tackle, and that left leg got trapped underneath. Tough to see for these players. Anytime these guys get hurt, no matter the side, no matter the team, no matter who you're a fan of, when you're around them, as we get to be during the weeks when we cover games, you know how much work they put into it.
You know, the average fan sits back and they hear the stories of the guy that came back from this major injury or that injury, and to them it's, oh, it's that injury. I've heard that injury 20 times.
Sure.
But these individuals, when there is a, you know, and I'm not saying it's a major injury, but when there's an injury, it's rehab, it's work to get back to the field.
Lots. Yep.
You know, not everybody is Cole Kmet, you know, who had a bad high ankle sprain and somehow is back on the field. But you know, you just hope they're not that serious, because these kids put so much work into it.
So Brian Kelly has no Jafar Armstrong, a running back with 5 touchdowns, most of the team this year rushing. And now no Tony Jones Jr. It's a pass on 3rd and 7, which is caught by Boykin for his 9th reception of the game and a first down.
Well, you know, great coverage. Holder's press coverage on a big receiver. Great position, ball right off his ear. Great ball placement.
Boykin in some pain as well. Stayed out there as they run it for about 3 yards up the middle with Williams. Williams and Avery Davis, a couple of the backs that they have available right now.
That fade route in particular, that ball was thrown quickly. And I've always, when it's that way, I'd like to throw it early and get it there before the DB can even get his head around. And that's how Ian Book threw that fade route.
2nd and 7. Book rolls and throws sideline to Claypool. It's going to be shy of the first down, about a yard shy, right in front of Paulson Adebo, the outstanding sophomore corner for the Cardinal.
Moving the pocket a little there, as Stanford has picked up the pressure that's become quicker rhythm throw. Get the ball out or move the pocket.
Up the middle, Williams. Dexter Williams again to the 26-yard line. Pickup of 17 before Bunkum, the safety, brought him down.
Well, Ruland's in the game at left guard. Watch him do a double team here and get a little bit of push. Now it's still cut all the way backside, but the senior steps in and does his job.
From the 26, big pickup by Williams with the pressure as Book gets rid of it, and incomplete. It's an incomplete pass. It wasn't a pretty play, but almost a big loss for Stanford there.
Great pressure. Just bringing it, like I said, they're starting to blitz. Stanford's bringing all the pressure. Okereke is the guy getting through there to get the hit, but what an athletic play. Off his back foot, he threw this ball about 40 yards to get it to out of bounds. Now, it's a little dangerous because if you get hit at all and it doesn't get there, it's going to be picked.
Second and 10. Ian Book setting up the screen for Williams, and running through was Mustafa Branch to make the play. His cousins are Dion Branch, the Patriot star from back in the day, and older Cliff Branch, Raiders days. That family's made a lot of football plays, and Mustafa's got the speed to add to it.
If he doesn't get there, that's a touchdown.
Yeah.
He basically backdoored the block, cut through, and just closed the gap and made a great open field tackle.
Ian Book's going to pull the reins in here and take it to the other side for the fourth quarter. Each team with 3 in the third. And off we go to the fourth. Notre Dame 24, Stanford 17. We're back at Notre Dame Stadium after these messages from your local station. You're watching Notre Dame football on NBC, presented by Michelin. On mobile, Notre Dame scored 14 in the first. Stanford 7, been even 6. Off we go to the fourth. Irish lead by 7. And start this quarter with a 3rd and 11 and some motion.
Illegal snap. Offense. Number 53. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Sam Mustapher wants to know.
Did he shift the ball?
We'll take the Irish back to the 32. Field goal from here is right around 50 yards. So this is very similar to the last Stanford drive. We're getting any yards here to make the field goal a little bit easier. Pressure coming. Book giving to Avery Davis for the first down inside the 50. Malik Antoine the tackle. There's a flag down.
Holding. Offense. Number 86. 10-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
On Alizé Mack.
Alizé Mack. Working on the left side, tight end here. He's good, he's good, he's good, but when the defender starts to break away, you gotta let go. He continues to hold on, and it's pretty blatantly obvious.
And that'll hold Gabe Reed, and now that brings it back to the 40-yard line. There's a slight wind going left to right. Probably need about 5 or 6 yards to get in comfortable field goal range for Yoon. Book's going to get there with the run. Get to the 32-yard line, set up a 50-yard field goal attempt for the Irish place kicker.
There's my quarterback draw on those long yardage situations. When you're on the edge of field goal range, they're playing pass. It's almost a surefire 5 to 10-yard gain.
Yoon has a couple of misses. This would be his longest of this season. It made a 52-yarder against Navy. Has made one already tonight. Good from 37. This one from 50. Rush off the edge. Yoon hooks it left. No good. Had the leg, but missed it to the left. And Stanford, within 7, will get the ball in good field position.
Big sequence of events. You get the penalty, you get the hold, you get the procedure, you get the holding, and you back up to the edge of field goal range, make it a long kick, and now it's still a 1-score game.
Brian Kelly loves his golf and uses golf analogies often with his players, and with Justin Yoon as well. And that's just one of those where you're just trying to pound it and may have hooked it just a little bit. Meantime, Book got a flying foot come down on his hand. The starting quarterback, who's the holder, going to get some attention over there on the sideline. Seems to be okay. KJ Costello of the Cardinal trying to tie the game, trying to get the screen to Love. Here he is. And a whole bunch of Notre Damers there, too. Flag is down as Tavon Coney and Kurt Heinisch made the tackle. Flag's back by the quarterback.
Holding. Offense. Number 75. 10-yard penalty. Replay 1st down.
That's the hat trick. That's 3 for Andy Hall. 2 holds.
But son, we're running a screen. We want them to rush the passer. Don't hold on a screen. Pretty blatantly obvious. These are the type plays, though, that I would anticipate a little more. Get Bryce Love the ball out in space somehow, some way.
Love has 2 receptions for 7 yards. He's run for 75. 18 touches, 82 yards for last year's Heisman runner-up. Here comes Scarlett on the inside with a run. Just for 3 yards of Cameron Scarlett. He becomes the first non-Bryce Love named back to take a handoff tonight. It's been all Bryce Love in the running game so far. And we're so used to seeing Stanford just play a whole mess of tight ends, bring in extra linemen, line up, and just smash mouth it. But they have been a little more wide open in this game.
trying to pick up about half of it here. You don't need the whole thing. Give yourself a third and manageable.
Second and 18. It's the four-man rush. Costello will go down for the third time. Tillery gets him again.
Julian Acquire on Hall. Just pushes him up the field up top. Pushes him up the field and comes under. He's sneaky, elusive. He's athletic in his pass rush. He's not a power rusher.
Having a sensational first 5 games. First down awaits all the way at the 42-yard line. Gonna run and get out of dodge. And Love is caught from behind. Julian Okwara. And this Bryce Love limping back over to the sideline as well after being pulled down.
You're not supposed to be able to run these plays down from the backside. You don't block the backside rush. He's unblocked. You're supposed to be hitting this front side, and Julian Acquire just comes flat down the line and chases Bryce Love down from behind.
And watch, he falls on Love here on his legs. His left ankle gets trapped. Remember all the ankle problems Love had last year and played in so much pain. Watch that. Jake Bailey kicks it for Stanford. Not his best. Fair caught on the run, a 38-yard kick. And Fink brings it in at the 42. Stanford's athletic training staff looks at Bryce Love. Heisman run-up a year ago. A little banged up at the moment. Notre Dame football is brought to you by Michelin, a better way forward. By Untuck It, shirts designed to be worn untucked. Untuckit.com. By Jersey Mike Subs, be a sub above. And by the U.S. Army. Find out more at GoArmy.com. You see some of the scores of the tight and memorable finishes over the last few years between these two teams. David Shaw telling us he loves the opportunity to come this way when you recruit in the Midwest, even the South. Your recruits know that your program will be over in this part of the country to play every couple of years. Family gets to see him in person. Even's pass off the hands of Avery Davis and incomplete. And almost that opportunity moment for the Stanford defense. Meantime, while we were away, Bryce Love limped over to the sideline. We showed you that going to the break. Went into Stanford's medical tent on the far side. The athletic training staff is looking at him. So as he's in the tent there, that's the point of concern, short and long term for the Cardinals. Anytime in this fourth quarter, 7-point game. Dexter Williams for only a yard. Tony Jones Jr.'s return is questionable, Catherine Tappan tells us. Lower leg injury. The Irish running back who's carried it the most this season.
It was a defensive touchdown by Stanford last week that stemmed the tide and got them rolling into the fourth quarter. And they almost had an opportunity 2 plays ago.
3rd and 9. Stanford brings a whole bunch of pressure. That pass is caught. What a grab for the first down on the sideline. Well, that mark is put in an interesting spot. Boykin had the ball extended out. And let's see where it's going to end up. It's where the ball is when he crosses the sideline, when the ball crosses the sideline. It's the 48-yard line.
Previous play is under review.
They're going to look at it upstairs to the ACC crew. There's a look about as close to down the line as you're going to have. And we'll bring in Terry McCauley, our rules analyst, to look at this with us. Terry, I thought that move there had him with a first down live.
Right. So like you said, Mike, it's where it crosses the sideline, and he's got it extended beyond the line to gain. And it looks...
Yeah, meantime, Terry, hang on a second. They're going to take Bryce Love back to the locker room here to get a look at him as some light rain begins to fall. Love, who had dealt with those injuries throughout last season, is being walked back to the locker room for further exam. That's a tough scene for all fans of college football. Let's go back to that review here, Terry, and re-detail what you were talking about.
So, yeah, I think we've got a great down-the-line shot. that shows that the ball is crossing the sideline beyond the line to gain. I think there is enough here to reverse this to a first down.
And I cut you off so we could show Bryce Love there, but just emphasize that point one more time. It's where the ball is when
it crosses the sideline.
Gotcha. Talk about
After review, the receiver's forward progress was stopped at the 47-yard line, resulting in a first down.
So the replay gets that one right. And as you watch games and see all the reviews, Terry consistently makes this point of a shot as close to down the line as possible, which you don't always have because the cameras are in set and fixed positions. But that one sitting right at midfield gave you a good look at it. So the Irish keep the drive going as the rain starts to fall lightly. Williams will gain 3 as Okereke brings him down. Bobby Okereke has been very active for Stanford's defense, as per usual.
Absolutely. He's gone sideline to sideline. He's taken on blocks. He's slicing through, backdooring the pullers to get into the backfield. Tremendous athlete at the linebacker position.
2nd and 7. Book smokes it out to Fink. Made a man miss. And to the 30-yard line goes Chris Fink with a first down. It's funny. You look at all the talent, the skill, the height, the speed. Chris Fink has the most catches to this Notre Dame team coming into tonight.
And your boy Claypool, the special teams guy, the freak of an athlete, had a heck of a block on a 2 in the open field. He does a little of everything.
From the 30 to Boykin. Again, Boykin. This time he cannot hang on.
Ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Second down.
Elijah Holder did a good job completing the play to help knock it away. That block you were talking about.
You got Claypool running down and covering kickoffs. Here he is in a blocking situation for his buddy. Picks up the block, stays on it, creates a crease, so it's one-on-one on the outside, and then Fink's elusive.
Second down here now. Williams to the left. Dexter Williams gains almost 7 yards on that carry. It's going to get him over 150 in this return game. Brian Kelly was telling us he'd love to get him 8 to 10 carries. He's got 20 now and 153.
For a guy that hasn't been playing, he is going to be sore.
That's right.
What a day.
And timing. He's out for 4 games. This is the game he returns, and boy, do they need him. Book on the slant. Claypool hangs on with the catch. Inside the 20, it's a Notre Dame first down to the 17. And we'll go under 9 minutes here. Very important couple of snaps coming up for Stanford's defense.
When Ian Book makes the decision, it is very decisive. He goes with it, commits to the throw, because this is tight coverage. And he just sees it quickly and sticks it in between 2 defenders.
Wanted a false start there. Didn't get the whistle, and they get Williams carrying Cardinal defenders down to the 9, to the 8-yard line.
There's rule and pulling with the block, but it's just power after contact. Keep the legs churning. Keep them falling forward. That's 5-6 yards after contact.
From the 7, Book will sling it. It's caught by Boykin. Boykin's in the end zone. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
So this time off the zone read action, he throws it out here to Boykin, and he gets blocks from Fink and Claypool. Unblocked defender coming from the inside, so you sprint for the corner to get away from him. His buddies stay on their blocks, create a crease, and he's in standing up.
And Ian Book has thrown 3 touchdowns on the night. One to Wisher, one to Claypool, and now Boykin. Justin Yoon with the extra point. Boykin has 144 yards, 11 receptions, and that touchdown that put Notre Dame up 14, 31-17, as Ian Book solidifies that job with a very good night at home. 10-6, it's the score that the famous Ryder Cup comebacks by the U.S. in '99 and the Europeans in 2012 had to face going into singles on Sunday. That's what the U.S. faces in Paris, 6 a.m. Eastern Time. Get up early here on NBC. A lot of work to do for the U.S. Jim Furyk, the captain, has loaded up that team up top. Tiger Woods will be in that first half dozen to go early, trying to get points on the board. Sunday Red last week when he won the Tour Championship. Did you notice? Still loyal to his school. That's the Stanford yardage book cover. See if he finds some good numbers in there tomorrow. Dan Hicks, Johnny Miller, and the guys will have it for you from Paris. No return on the Cameron Scarlett touchback. KJ Costello has no Bryce Love, and he is facing a lot of heat already. Down 14, he's going to have to deal with this Notre Dame pass rush and the pressure of the trio. Colin Kareem, Julian Okwara, and Dalen Hayes. 45 pressures in the edge combined. That's tied for the most by a defender trio in the FBS. Right up there with Oregon, one of the 2 teams in the country coming into this week. Have 3 guys to have 10 or more pressures on the quarterback. So, Doug, you can speak to this so well. It's not always the sack, but those pressures that is such a big measure of success up front.
You got to get rid of the football. You get your arm hit. That's how interceptions happen. You're throwing the ball away. You're in long yardage situations. You can't let a route develop down the field.
It's a throw ball game now for the Cardinals. Intercepted. Tavon Coney down inside the 20-yard line.
It's just a little 6-yard out, and Coney breaks under the route, gets the pick. Great coverage. This is usually a gimme route for quarterbacks. You know, it's your little tight end on a 6-yard out route. Coney breaks on it. He gets underneath the route, and then he said he was a running back. He wanted the opportunity to run with the ball.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, intercepting team number 11. His first of the game, a 15-yard penalty, 1st and 10.
Just trying to listen to the call there, the unsportsmanlike, and when it was flagged for, Coney comes up with his first interception. And he had talked to us yesterday about the opportunity to get in coverage and make plays. And he was able to get his hands on the ball for the first time and comes up with a turnover there. But the 15 yards back up the Irish to the 35. Avery Davis, the back. Books looking. Oh, wide open. Alizé Mack. Good night. Touchdown, Notre Dame. What a call.
You take your shot plays after the turnover. You always want to kick right back after him and get it in the end zone. Just a great play call, design. You're crossing receivers and flowing everything to the right. Mack is the tight end. He's over on this side. He's going to sneak across. Block, block, block. Hesitate across the field. Nobody home on the backside. Great play design. Chip Long.
A lot of credit to the second-year offensive coordinator. Justin Yoon. Out through the extra point. Mack joins the touchdown parade. Book has thrown 4. Mack finding the end zone to run a one-play drive after the turnover. His first TD of the year. The Irish are on their way. Always fired up for this little behind the scenes here as they get set in the dress rehearsal for Saturday Night Live. Adam Driver is the host. Kanye West, the musical guest. A little sneak peek of what that skit will be. Saturday Night Live, coming to you live from New York City and 30 Rock. Coming up later tonight right here on your NBC station. 2 touchdowns in 14 seconds. The Boykin touchdown. The Coney interception, and Alizé Mack catches Ian Book's 4th touchdown pass of the night, and all of a sudden a tight game has become a 21-point Notre Dame lead, and Bryce Love still being looked at. Touchback on the kick by Jonathan Doyle.
I'll tell you what, as a quarterback, you want your offensive coordinator once a game by play design. Chip Long, by play design, give me one easy touchdown, coach. Just give me one. I'll get the others. I'll earn the other two or whatever comes. And Chip Long did a great job of finding the situation, play call, sneak the tight end out the back door. It's a layup of a touchdown pass for Ian Book. He gets the reward. Matt gets the touchdown. But then, you're going to have to earn the other ones. But you give me one, coach. Give me one.
And you've seen the ball spread around. 4 different Notre Dame players have caught touchdowns. So now Stanford, without Love, has to be in express mode with 8 to go. KJ Costello hit by Tillery. The ball's out again. And it's recovered by Stanford. Walker Little, the tackle got on it. That's another sack. Tillery's got a couple. 4 for the Irish tonight.
Little twist stun here. He comes out. We're coming under. Pushes the tackle out wide and then back underneath him. Just the pass rush, Costello last week, the game was put in his hands in the 4th quarter. Start throwing the football, it brought him back. This week, when they've had to go to that, they can't protect.
It's pass rush.
They cannot protect. Give them an opportunity.
Loss of 10, 2nd and 20. They're at him again. Tillery got him again. Oh, my goodness. What a performance by Tillery.
Basically the same spot. He starts out. He's going to just come out a little bit, but it's just pure pass rush. Dalen Hayes give him a little push at the end to get there, maybe. Straight through. It's beating Hamilton on the left side of the offensive line, right side defensive line. He's a handful. And the pass rush has been a difference this year for Notre Dame in general. All those pressures you were just talking about, that hasn't been here in a handful of years.
Khalid Kareem slow to get up again, as he was earlier in the first half. He has since come back and made a play as well. There's a 3rd Notre Dame player we'll see come over to the sideline, injured in the second half. Alex Bars, the left guard, injured his knee. Tony Jones Jr. got hurt. Kareem getting the response from the crowd. Doug, this is a Stanford outfit that had only given up 5 sacks in their first 240 minutes of play this season. And it's 5 tonight.
It's a team that prides himself on being strong up front. Their extra tight ends, their extra offensive line, and being a physical team that tells you how good a pass rush they're facing tonight.
And 3rd and 28. They've got no receivers in the game right now. They're just going to run the ball and try to get out of here in one piece. Coney with the tackle on the run to the 15-yard line. As the players come off the pile there, Trevor Spates had the carry there. Spates carries because of the injury to Bryce Love. Love, who dealt with a high ankle sprain after the Oregon game throughout the season last year, was tracked down from behind by Julian Okwara, who came down on his left ankle as he was pulling him down. We saw Love get up gingerly, walk to the sideline in the tent, then went back towards the locker room or somewhere else to get the full medical attention here before the Cardinal fly back to Palo Alto tonight. Chris faked the fair catch at the 38. Under 6 minutes to go. Notre Dame, number 8 in the country, with an impressive performance tonight.
Notre Dame with a real shot to move up the standings. Number 4 Ohio State in trouble. Trace McSorley to Pat Fryermuth. Penn State leads it 20-14. Still about 10 minutes to go in the 4th quarter there, Mike.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting week. A lot of folks have a lot of choices to make on their ballot. Certainly that game will continue to play out as this one has here, with the Irish coming up with a very big 4th quarter on both sides of the ball to take this 38-17 lead. Avery Davis runs to the left, and he'll get to the 42-yard line. Doug, you look at opponents and you spend the whole year trying to figure out what's going to happen. I think college football, because of a tight 12-game regular season, people spend so much of the offseason guessing. Everyone had Clemson in the playoff, and they were a play away from losing to Syracuse at home as a 3.5 touchdown underdog today. So you just can't get too far ahead. It's still just September, but Notre Dame's put themselves in a really good position if they can close this game out going forward the next 2 months. 2nd and 5. Davis left got pulled down by a face mask. The ball comes out as well. You have to check that, but in all likelihood, a face mask penalty will be called here on Stanford.
And as you look down the road at the schedule for Notre Dame, Virginia Tech lost their quarterback. Florida State not as good as you would have anticipated this year.
Stanford with the recovery here.
Pretty sure this has to be a face mask and called back. So in getting past this game,
Jordan Fox. Player pulled him. Now the question is, what was it a face mask here? They're having a conversation.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That'll take it to the 44 of Stanford. Go ahead, Doug.
You know, so you look ahead down the road at games that you really anticipated being very difficult games. And all of a sudden, potentially, Notre Dame's got a shot at those, and it may not be quite as daunting as you thought. And then, of course, at USC at the end of the season, USC always very talented and tough at USC,
and we know the
but
records,
it's possible.
Yeah, the records matter very little in that game so often. I mean, you thought Virginia Tech was done when Josh Jackson, their quarterback, gets hurt. They put up a good performance in the 31-14 win at Duke tonight as Jameer Smith comes in, the freshman running back. Gets the carry, and for Smith, that is his 3rd. He had 2 in the game against Wake Forest. Northwestern didn't look like they were going to be a dangerous team, and they took Michigan to the very edge. We mentioned earlier the Syracuse game that they'll have with Notre Dame at Yankee Stadium. So it's so hard to look down the road, but this was one Notre Dame had to have for having hopes of the playoff down the line.
And I think it's the way they've managed this game. They took over on the defensive line. They finished the game, which they didn't do earlier in the year. I know Ian Book's at quarterback. It's a different team right now, and they're just gaining momentum. We anticipated a low-scoring, tight ball game.
Yep.
Ball's loose.
Yep, that ball loose, too. Notre Dame on it at the 41-yard line. Remember, it was a last late turnover by Oregon that gave Stanford incredible life to come back and win that game in overtime in Eugene. But it's a much different ask with 3:40 to go in this one and a 21-point margin.
Yeah, but there were 2 of them. There was a snap over the quarterback's head, went a touchdown the other way, and then the fumble and under a minute to go. 2
huge plays. Jerry Tillery has 4 sacks officially tonight. It's the most by a Notre Dame player in the Brian Kelly era, most going back since 2005. Just a phenomenal performance as Brian Kelly runs down, takes a timeout before the play clock runs out with 3:17 to go.
Prior to delay a game, timeout Notre Dame, their first of the half. 30 seconds.
He is a handful. He uses his hands so well in his pass rush, and his power, just putting the guard back in the quarterback's lap, going all the way through to the... Then he gets, a couple of the one-on-one moves where he's going after him. Here he has the quarterback step up into his lap. But here, he's not even doing it. He's twisting to try to open a gap for someone else, and boom, he steps back underneath and makes the sack. So he's in a rhythm now. So it's like, the heck with this. I'm going for it. There's number 4. Gets a little help from his friend, Dalen Hayes, with a little push to make sure he gets there. I'll tell you, he came in as a freshman, a man, and he used his hands well. As a freshman, they raved about his pass rush moves, and he's just gotten better and better.
And you might remember the incident in the USC game a couple of years ago out there. Jerry Tillery came back through 2017, eyes open, different guy. We did a halftime interview with him a couple of weeks ago that aired. And Jerry Tillery is one of the most interesting young men you'd ever find. Ian Book running in trouble, flipping it forward, and it's caught by Jameer Smith. No linemen were downfield. First down, Notre Dame.
How's my athlete doing at quarterback? How's the basketball player with the backhand shovel? Of course, the heart's in the throat on the coaching staff when they see this go up in this situation. But he's just moving around. This wasn't a risky thing to Ian. He saw it ahead of him. He flipped it.
And a good job by those offensive linemen not running downfield and staying there.
It's the only way he could get the ball there unless he threw it left-handed.
Aaron Banks, by the way, has been in this entire drive at left tackle in place of Liam Eichenberg. So it's a second line left side, if you will, with the Barrs injury from earlier. Trevor Ruland over there as Jameer Smith, the freshman from Stanford, North Carolina, runs to the left. The Stanford team, as we mentioned, they still have a path to success in the Pac-12. They'll play at Washington in a huge game. They'll play Utah coming up next. That Utah defense is fierce. So a tough defense here tonight. We get Utah next week. Then Herm Edwards and that crew down in Tempe, they got something going. Never Fun in the Palouse with Mike Price. They'll be coming to the farm. And you see the rest of the schedule down the stretch. And David Shaw, a guy who has been a part of this program for a long time. 21 years, a player, a coach. His dad was a coach there. We talked to him about Stanford, and he said it's such a great institution. One of the reasons he stays and doesn't go to the NFL. They're training leaders, people who change whatever industry they go into. He said you can run into the bookstore when you have recruits there, and there's Katie Ledecky. There's so many different people who you find on campus. He said, you're a quarterback there, you're just one of many special cool people on that campus. And that's what energizes a really fine guy who's molded a lot of great people at Stanford.
Did he say you run into Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks in the bookstore.
Oh, yeah. I'm going out to Stanford to visit. I'd like to say hi to Tom Hanks.
Smith gets the first down, and that'll clinch it. And that'll do it. And the Irish will get a really big win.
Very impressive. Finished the fourth quarter. Ran out the clock with the offense on the field.
You see NBCSN, we're going to have a Notre Dame post-game show for you tonight. Liam McHugh and Chris Sims going to get all the reaction to this Ian Book 4-touchdown, 278-yard night. Jerry Tillery's 4-sack game. And the Irish get set to go to Blacksburg. It's never easy against Bud Foster's defense. They're coming off a win. The games get more important the deeper you go. But every test in September has been answered in grand style, even with a quarterback change. And Ian Book has his first home win as the Notre Dame quarterback.
I mean, you're stepping in as a quarterback, replacing a guy that's been winning for a year and a half. And he goes out there and plays like there's no pressure on him, like he's just out there for a Sunday drive and doing his thing. He was very comfortable from beginning to end.
The man from Sacramento beats the team from Palo Alto. Brian Kelly and David Shaw exchange greetings there. And, of course, the concern for Stanford will be the health of Bryce Love here down the line. This game was 14-14. Notre Dame scored 24 of the last 27. Here's Catherine with Coach Kelly.
Coach, offensively, your team was clicking on all cylinders. A defensive, solid performance tonight. What most impressed you about this win?
You know, we played 4 quarters. We were physical. You know, we were the better team tonight in all phases. You know, defensively, we got after the quarterback. Costello's a good player, and we didn't give him much time. Jerry Tillery couldn't block him tonight. And then, you know, obviously offensively, the ability to run the football tonight against a really good football team. That's, top 10 football team. Anytime you can do that, run the football, good things will happen.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mike?
550 yards on 88 plays. They ran 37 more plays than Stanford. Dominating performance. Brian Kelly's full press conference is available for you on NBCSports.com. Coming up next, except for the West Coast, is your local news, and then the season premiere of Saturday Night Live. Adam Driver hosts Kanye West, the musical guest. We're back here in 2 weeks. It's the Irish against Pitt on NBC. Post-game is on NBCSN right now with Catherine Tappan, Terry McCauley, Doug Flutie, our producer Rob Hyland, our director Pierre Musa, our entire NBC team, Mike Tirico. Thanks for watching Notre Dame football on NBC, presented by Michelin.